Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the Always Smiling Faces podcast on the Gallowgateshots YouTube channel. Look at our hands. The gloves are off. It's Steve back and back, ready to get it hiding. How are you doing, lads? He's all right?
My hands are a bit cold.
I am now. I finished work, mate, if I'm being honest with you. Bloody hell. But yes, I've got a can in hand. I'm ready to see Bruce's attacking mags go wild.
Have you been looking forward to this one, Bestie? You looking forward to it?
In the slightest bit, no. I can't think of anything I've looked forward to less. God, for me, apart from a big one now for ages. I think I'm on these tablets. Looks I've got vertigo or labyrinthitis. So I've got literally 5 cans within reach that I can't touch because I can't drink on these tablets. So,
is it one of those tablets where you can't drink, or is it just one of the things where it pretends you can't drink, like antibiotics, where it says you can't drink, but there's only one antibiotic where you're not supposed to?
It said on the inside of the packet, like the little kind of chitty that you get, it says don't drink, like they don't have alcohol in these. And I was talking to someone on Twitter on Friday, and it says, "Oh, is it these ones?" And it's pro cool. I can't pronounce it. I says, "Oh," he says, "I don't drink on them." Like. You seem to know, like, so I'm thinking, like, yeah, I'll just.
It might make the match look better, Bestie. You never know.
Nah. Well, the dizziness isn't doing it then.
Growing up all the time.
The dizziness is kind of making it like I've had a drink anyway. So.
Really? Well, this is what we'll do. We'll test him out later on, Bestie. If it gets that bad, like, just crack open the cans and see what happens to you, and we'll just put you on the big screen, mate.
Hang on a second.
Is your kid eating pizza?
Yes.
Oh, what kind of pizza?
We've got tea. Pepperoni.
Oh, that's just the oven pizza, that though, isn't it?
That's all right.
Balls of that, man.
That's buffet pizza, that.
Aldi pizza.
Nah, we don't care about
that's
that.
All right.
Mind some oven pizzas when you get the ones from the deli. The Morrison's or Asda, they're really good.
Do you know which ones are the best? Like, Costco ones do mint ones, but they don't fit in the oven.
No.
It's problematic.
Well, they do now because they've changed them, so it's not just the huge circle ones now. They've actually done them in a oven tray shape, and it comes in an oven tray, so you just put it straight in now. So they learned the lesson.
You get to keep the oven tray as well. It's like a metal oven tray.
No, it's like the old pop bottles. You take it back and you get 20 pence.
Take it back.
Right. Let's have a look at this starting lineup. Obviously, is it 7 or 8 changes which have been made?
I think
there's
7.
A lot of changes. There's a lot of changes.
Clark. Lewis in.
So Bruce said that obviously he's going to be doing it his way now, and the gloves are off, as we've seen across social media over the last couple of days. I'm not entirely sure what that means has been happening for the last 18 months, but to be honest, he's made changes. But I'm going to be a bit critical on this one. The amount of changes which he's made tonight worries a little bit, because which manager goes in and changes that many teams on the back of 2 that many players on the back of 2 Premier League games? You can understand it in a cup game, but Premier League wise, it's I'm not sure how I feel about that one. Decker, you're itching there.
Well, you see, this is the problem I've got here, because if I see anything, people are going to think that I'm pro Bruce. This is the issue here. But I'm just going to be honest and say what I'm saying. Like, I actually really like what he's done, because we've played at 5 at the back for God knows how long. Nothing's worked at all. He's then came out and said, listen, right, I'm now going to play the way that I want to play. And within reasons, he's almost trying to go 4-2-4 from what I'm seeing here. Obviously, of course, we all know Joe Linton and Almiron's going to be like coming back to help. But it looks like he's really sort of made the changes to, like, I don't know, maybe try and waken them up or like be more ruthless, which within it to a degree, I'm kind of behind in a way.
Let's not forget he's tried to do this before, though, hasn't he? Where he's played 4-4-2, and
I'm not saying it's going to work. I'm just saying that, like, if he said that the gloves are off and I'm going to do it my way, that is very different and looks more attacking than what I've ever seen him try.
It's just a worry who he's trying it against, isn't he? Against Arsenal. Had he have played this formation and this team last week against Sheffield United, when you expect us to go and attack and have a real good goal, then you think actually it's probably the right thing to do.
Yeah.
Arsenal's a completely different kettle of fish.
Bestie, before I move on to you, mate, I just want to say, people that are watching, we may be about 30 seconds behind because we've tried to sync all of our devices to time at the same time as each other. So what we'll do, we'll give you a heads up when the ball gets kicked for kickoff, just in case you want to pause your device as well. If you're all ahead, please don't put it in the comments if something happens, because I can't see them. So please don't do that. Our phones are away, so don't spoil it for. Well, we're not going to score, so you're not going to be spoiling it.
The team will spoil it enough for, I'm sure.
Bestie, what's your thoughts on that starting 11 by Bruce's attacking mags, now known as?
It's Keegan-esque, isn't it? Like, I cannot wait just to see get stuck into them. Like the flair that we've got on show, the attacking capability, the versatility of the lads that they play. Like Joe Linton on the wing, looks according to Sky Sports here, Almiron on the wing. Matty and Jonjo cleaning up inside. There's goals written. There's goals all over that team. Like goals all over it, lads. I'm excited.
Well, we'll talk about Matty. Obviously, Matty comes back in the team there. Thoughts on that one? I'm quite pleased to see him in there. But another, once again, it's Matty gets a chance against one of the top teams yet again.
What's happened to Shelby's eye on there? Did you see that there?
That was the start of the season. One of his eyebrows was away. I don't know if it was part of his alopecia or if it was like just some sort of pre-season prank. But yeah.
Sorry, Chris, I interrupted you there. About Matty, sorry, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. So he's getting his chance against one of the big boys again. But personally, for me, I'm glad to see him in that centre midfield role.
It's nice to have him back in and get that energy movement that we saw the other week when he came in against Chelsea, was it? I think when he did reasonably well given the circumstances. So he definitely gives one more movement and a bit more freedom to carry the ball, which we'll hopefully see in this one compared to his brother Hendrick and Hayden. So. You
said that as if Jeff Hendrick was his brother.
Or he had a brother called Hendrick Longstaff.
Yeah, his brother Hendrick, you said.
Longstaff. I put a big pause between his brother Hendrick.
This is an interesting one, though, isn't it? I think from the player's attitude point of view. Like, either a case of are they with Bruce or not. Like, because surely after that Sheffield United game, he's went through them, I think. You would imagine so. And it's just interesting to see.
After Brentford, though, for me, that was...
Yeah, I agree.
There's been no reaction to that at all. I mean, the draw at Liverpool was all right, but I'm not hopeful. Like, I'm
not hopeful at all.
Right, so the players, for people watching, the players have just took the knee there for our thing, our devices. So, like I said, we're maybe a few seconds behind everybody. So, if you want to pause and do it, then great. They just kicked off there. I'll go quickly round yours before we start watching. Mark, scoreline?
2-0.
Oh, well, so Bruce's attacking mags get all 3 points. Bestie.
I think 2-0 to Arsenal as well. I kind of, just rubbish.
Digger?
Yeah, 3-0 Arsenal.
Yeah, I'm going to go 3-0 Arsenal as well.
We're in for a great game here. Come on. But did you see that stat just before they kicked off?
Yeah,
that
17.
Bruce had never won in 17 visits. Dear me.
It's like I said.
Where's Lewis going there?
Nobody's hopeful here, like of this one. Once again, Arsenal the first few seconds. It's a shame that Fernandes isn't fit. I know, obviously, he gave away the penalty, but it's a shame.
Go on, Mickey. Look at Mickey go. Go on, get there.
Nah.
Oh, he's there.
He's there.
Oh, Jesus.
If he had rolled that across the deck there, that would have there's a massive gap there.
Yep. It was a bit more positive, but I suppose I was more positive.
Well, we normally start well in the first few minutes, so this is the best it's going to get.
It was interesting how much space Almiron had there, didn't he, down that side? I guess with having Tierney back out there, because I think he's missed a couple of games for them, he likes to get forward, so that might allow Miggy to hit on the break and get into that space behind. If we can use the counter attack well.
Yeah, Neil's
count how many's in their half now. Our players. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah.
Well, it certainly looks a bit higher up the field than I'm used to seeing.
Neil's had a good shout there, saying that he doesn't think the result really matters tonight, and it's basically about the players putting a shift in. I would tend to agree. I think we're in. Well, we need a decent performance from the players, and a reaction to that Sheffield defeat, because it was absolutely diabolical watching that, and obviously the result, which obviously came off the back of it, piss poor.
Bruce made that comment in his pre-match as well as that. Well, actually, it was the interviewer asked him, "Will we see a reaction tonight?" And he says that he certainly expects to, and that Mickey's got a lot of space down here again.
Well, he will have because he's such an attacking left back, isn't he?
Yeah, that he expected to see a reaction, and that previously we'd seen a reaction in other games. So if again. But there's been other times where we've talked about expecting a reaction and haven't seen it. So you just don't know, do you? You don't know what's going to happen and which way it's going to go with this team. But let's be hopeful. Let's have a bit of faith.
So Andy, we are on 2 minutes 55 right now.
56, 8, 9, 3.
We're just going to keep on going until
you just count forever. Free kick to Arsenal. That's where we're at.
How's that a freak? What did he do with it?
Pulled his shirt just slightly. Yeah, just slightly. Here's that. Our gloves are off.
Right. This is the thing that's going to piss us off, right? And it doesn't really make a difference. But that prostate cancer badge, put it straight, Bruce. For fuck's sake. Like every single match, you see where it is.
Bit like his nose, isn't it, really?
It is, mate. It's exactly the same as his nose.
Right, I don't want to get harsh on anyone.
There's been a few comments. Daryl has put it out there saying, "Have you seen the comments from Carragher Neville pre-match?" I didn't. Did any of you see that?
Yeah, I did.
So, then Mark fill in.
So Carragher was kind of actually, I guess, calling out his media colleagues a little bit. Around this whole rhetoric around that it's life under Bruce is just the same as under Rafa or better under Rafa and stuff like that. And he was talking about how that isn't the case. That he looked at kind of the expected goals, the XG, the amount of goals we'd scored, the amount of possession we'd had, clean sheets, etc., in every single stat. So just as we bang on about as fans, in every single stat, it shows that Bruce is doing worse than Rafa, and this whole lazy rhetoric around the fact that the football's exactly the same and that kind of thing. So he was talking about that you can see it's not. It is. Obviously, we're not scoring as much, we're not creating as much, and having less possession, and it's awful to look at. And then talked about the side of that. Bruce had talked about wanting to be defensively strong, and that a lot of people say that he's very good at organising team and being defensive. And he then pulled up the stats around goals conceded, amount of chances, kind of that we'd had against her, and all that kind of thing. And yet again, all of Bruce's stats were worse than Rafa's. So we're not creating as many chances. We're not scoring as many goals. We're not having as much of the ball, and we're conceding more goals. So he actually got it, I guess, into what we've been saying as fans for a long time. Well, this is where we then went to Neville, and like Neville just went, nah, rubbish. He says. He says you can keep your 1% and 2% difference of why things were better under Rafa, but he says, but look at the points, and he pulled up the last 2 seasons for Rafa, the last season and this season so far for Bruce, and said, this is where Rafa finished 15th, 16th. 13th, 16th, because obviously it was only the last 2 seasons. Pulled up Bruce so far. Then they looked at the points at this stage for the last 2 seasons, and he said, there you go, Bruce is doing a better job. That's all that matters. It's the points that are on the board. Bruce has got more points at this stage than Rafa did. Yeah.
Jesus Lord, I wouldn't have expected that.
Last two seasons.
It was the same, wasn't it? Rafa's Newcastle side used to start performing much better in the second half of the season. We used to go on a decent run of form. Not long after Christmas, and we used to pick up the majority point when Perez started playing. Really,
yeah. But to give Neville his due a little bit, he kind of redeemed himself ever so slightly, because then what he then did go on to say was that, it isn't good enough. However, it hasn't been good enough for the last kind of 12 or 13 years. And talked about, just as Joe was saying there, that
Joe, got to call him Joe.
It's the ownership that is to blame, because we've had, you wouldn't be happy with the managers and the performances that we've had during that time, bar a couple of brief interludes. Obviously,
it sounds like there's a little bit of good cop, bad cop there, if I'm honest with you. It sounds like that to me.
Yeah.
So, but that's the only now the second time. Obviously, Jake Humphries talked a lot about the difference and what we expect.
Crap that, by the way.
That was a good interception. Yeah, go on, Miggy. Look at the space out wide. Give me back.
Back to crap. Go on.
There you are.
I think I just called him crap instead of craft.
So it's actually nice to hear a bit of, not just the standard lines, especially when we're so used to hearing Redknapp just spouting the same crap week in, week out. So get a block in.
You're showing him exactly which way to go. Yellow cells. Fuck me.
I think the issue I have with a lot of it is, and this has happened time and time again, more so on Sky, I think, than anything else, is you've got the likes of Redknapp, Souness, whoever. And before the game, they're all pro Bruce and what they're moaning about in the quarter at the time, we're in the quarterfinals of the cup. Points, maybe it's points. We're in the same points as what we were after. But then after the game, they're like, my God, this is terrible. And I remember even Souness said a couple of weeks ago, it must be awful being a Newcastle fan watching that every week. It seems to be like before the game, they just don't realise until they've actually watched it.
I think what we have to remember, though, at the end of the day, I know it's a results game and things like that, but I say this week in, week out, it doesn't really matter where you finish in the Premier League if you're not finishing the European spots or the relegation spots. Wherever you fall in between that doesn't really make much difference. But I think what Rafa brought, and once again, something which we mentioned time and time again, which pundits don't seem to get, is Rafa connected the fans to the club, and it took years and years for that to happen until Rafa came along.
I think I totally agree, Chris. I think the biggest.
Look at that! That's a tackle.
He's a well bloke. Briella probably at worst.
Almiron jumps in with 2 feet as well, mind.
We don't see that though, Bestie. He's one of ours.
Rewind that.
I think with Rafa as well, though, was like, is it for all? Like, for example, I'll be very honest here. What Mark's just said there about what Neville said, that both seasons Bruce has got more points at this stage. It just astounds me. It honestly does. It astounds us. But even so, you just had that belief under Rafa that the club could go somewhere. That's what it was, wasn't it? You thought next year we might break the top 10, whereas under Bruce, you just feel you're going to fight relegation forever. That's what you feel.
Yeah, so Stephen Mallums, I'll go you, Bessie, because you were there with us, says Neville's comments reminded me of when Chris, Bessie and Adam were down on the season debate. So yeah, me, Adam and Bessie went down to the big debate, which was, got invited by Sky Sports, and it was basically Jamie Carragher, Gary Neville. What was the host called? Can't remember, Bestie.
It was Baby Elvis off Soccer M.
Yeah, it was him. I can't remember his name, but he's called Baby Elvis.
Adam Baby Elvis?
Yeah, Adam. I think he might be called Adam or something. But yeah, we were there, and Carragher came across really, really well. And had Bruce just been appointed, mate?
Yeah, not too long before that, because
you had a little bit of an argument with Neville, didn't you?
Well, I offered an opinion, and Neville just kind of shouted over us like, "Aye."
So fill everybody in, mate. What happened between you and Neville?
It was between me and Neville. But we were trying to fill out like a league table, so we're kind of trying to estimate. Why can't I think of any words? We're trying to guess or try to predict. That's the word I'm thinking of. With the teams were finishing the league, and they said, "Oh, what about Newcastle?" And I said 18th. I think we'll go down this year with Bruce. And Neville was, "Oh yeah, well, outrage, you can't." And I mean, I suppose he was right in the end, really. But
I think, Bessie, if I remember right, did that one little sentence not cause a debate once again between Carragher and Neville about what Benitez brought to the team?
I seem to recall it did. I'll need to watch it again, to be honest with you. But obviously, Carragher, you've kind of got the two sides of things where Carragher played for Benitez and seems to hold him in pretty high regard. So there's going to be the little bit of bias that way, whereas Neville's got the Steve Bruce bias, maybe the anti-Liverpool bias as well, So there's kind of somewhere in the middles, again, like we always say, where the kind of truth lies. Like, but
he's done well. Wilson there, mate.
Really well there. Go on, but
he did fantastic there.
But that was kind of for me the beginning of the first time I can really remember thinking like, oh, Bruce's mates are really going over, like that kind of that they're not willing to give any credit to what Benitez did by way of a comparison.
Yeah,
and so it's proved over the past, what's it now, 18, 19 months?
Yeah, mate.
18, because it was, I think you got a point at the day my son was born, and he's just turned 18 months this week, so...
In that pre-match, Neville even called Carragher Rafa's propaganda machine. Rafa's PR.
Well, you could make the argument that he's part of Bruce's, though. You know,
the question I would love to say to Neville is okay, right? Let's say Rafa was manager of your club, or let's say Mourinho then, because I suppose Rafa never would. But let's say Mourinho was in charge.
Lewis, man, Jesus Christ, you seen that? He's the worst. Him like.
Let's say Jose's in charge of your club, and then he's replaced by Bruce. Like, what would your reaction be to Gary Neville? Like, what would you think if the club got in after Jose? Obviously, that's the kind of reflection I've got with Rafa. You know, a big name type of thing. Of course, every fan's he's elbowed him there, hasn't he?
Like what?
He could go here, you know. I'm telling you, he could go here. He could go here.
He's so poor defensively, like so poor, man.
That was very rash, like I must admit.
I think does he actually try and kick the ball if his left foot misses it completely?
He must have looked at it though. Because
I'll be honest.
Very quickly, isn't it?
I was just looking at his right elbow. His right elbow to me went straight in the lad's face. That's all I was looking at, like. But
VR must have looked at it because it's just going straight.
It's okay.
There's no.
Yeah.
There you go, bestie. Darryl said, "Do you mean preempt?"
Preempt. I'll take it, Darryl. I would have settled for preempt. Definitely.
It's the vertigo, bestie, man. That's all it is. Just the vertigo.
What did you say? Pre-estimate or something?
Pre-estimate. I think I came up with that. It's got all the letters of preempt, Scott. I just kind of elaborated.
Miggy and Joe swapping sides now.
Looks like they have, I.
Now he's
Andy Hamilton said that he's going to start using pre-estimate at work.
It's like when you get people on the phone who are trying to be too posh and they come up with like really big, long bullshit words. Call them when they talk about, I'm going to send you this, to say I'm going to send yourself this, just to sound that little bit more.
Do you know which word I hate? Right, cascade.
I hit the post. I thought he just played.
I don't even know what actually happened there. How did that end up where it ended up?
Post, I think.
Yeah, that was unreal.
Cascade.
I hate the word cascade.
Oi!
Oh my God!
What's going on, man?
Okay, now.
Good Rafa wouldn't have done that.
How's he not?
Bruce still didn't take the gloves off. I think he's took his boots off there.
Oh, Donald's done well there. Got a 2 on that.
Oh, is that hit both posts?
Watch there. Darlow gets a 2 on it, which
does well.
Takes it away.
Man,
Did that hit both posts? That'd be amazing, Bessie, if it hit both posts.
It happens on FIFA all the time, man.
But that's Lewis getting caught out of position again. Lewis ended up in the middle of the pitch there, which allowed the overlap.
It's interesting that I haven't showed you that clip of Lewis on VAR. Like,
I was very surprised.
I thought it was worse than one of ours.
It's surprising how many football teams or players just for some reason hit the first man in the corner. It's embarrassing, really, at any level, but especially at this level, how you can hit the first man every time. It's unbearable.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is. Well, especially when you play, like we've played on St James's and we've all played football in my life, but especially when you go on a professional pitch and you just see how close you are. Do you know what I mean? Like it's to think of hitting the first man is quite unbelievable, really.
But it's something that we've had it with, like Emery would do it, Robert would do it, Solano would do it, with Richie quite frequently. It's just mad that you think. I remember we had a spell, if you under Pardew, I think it was, where we took like a year and a half's worth of corners without scoring. And I remember thinking, like, I'm sure if I took every one of those corners, we would have scored one of them. Surely.
I think the closest that came was when, do you know when we used to lift the ball out with Colaccini on the edge of the box and just used to bullet header it?
Against Fulham, he hit the bar, didn't he? Against Fulham. Yeah.
It really, really showed to me when we played Leicester the other week, and James Maddison was on their corners, and every single one of them was unreal. The way he kind of like fired it in and put right into the edge of the boxes and stuff like that. It was just.
He's a lovely player, isn't he? He's a lovely player. Fantastic. He's very unlucky, isn't he, that Grealish is around, because they're very similar. I think. Like I really do think they're similar. Like to get a place in the England squad, I think is very, very unlucky for him. Like he's a great player. Like I was watching the Premier League. Well, it wasn't Premier League years, but it was a Premier League game, and it was full 90 minutes of Man United against Arsenal. I think it was. I shouldn't be talking about Man United on here, but Ryan Giggs, it was every corner. Honestly, every corner Giggs got was on the money. It was just unreal. Postal corners.
A few shouts. Basically saying that Williamson back post it was the same one that pod. It was always Williamson back post.
It was then free kick. It was a free kick, wasn't it? He was a chip at the back post, and then Wilson.
1734, 1735, 1736, 1737, 30.
Yeah, what Mark said. Just say 40. What we should have is like a little timer on the screen.
Oh, yeah, Adam.
Adam's gone. He's gone.
He's gone.
Damn deal.
He's had enough. He's gone to watch that ice hockey we were watching before. I don't. Oh, Andy, put your head in there.
Is that not how you feel like?
I don't want to say what I don't want to say what I'm thinking, but
I know what you're thinking.
I don't know if you are thinking the same as what I'm thinking, but let's not say it.
That we're not. Yeah, let's not say it.
Yeah.
Let's just think it, not say it.
I agree with you.
I mean, they're still causing with problems. Like,
well, you expect that, though, don't you? You got Aubameyang and Lacazette. I mean, I'm expecting them to cause with problems. Like, I just am, unfortunately.
They're going to get chances. Like, it's inevitable that they're going to get chances.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But be fair, we didn't do too badly the other week against them, did we? Until we got the extra time.
Yeah,
and then
in fairness,
all
we did
fell
do
a bit.
actually. Yeah. Well done.
And this even Arteta said the same. It's a very, very different team. He certainly wasn't expecting it compared to the way that we're normally paying stuff there. So he was a bit surprised by it.
The issue they've got from the formation, I only seen it for 2 seconds, but it looked to me that they had an extra man in midfield against our 2 in midfield. That was my only sort of worry, but so far it hasn't seemed to cause too many problems. Like.
I think that extra man tends to get forward a lot for them as well. If you look at this, they've got like 6 players in our box.
You look at left back as well. He's a good player, though, isn't he? He's a good player.
Tierney.
Yeah, I like him.
Yeah, he was touch and go, wasn't he? If he's going to make it a night.
I think that's that guy as well. The one that
he's good, isn't he?
Elbow, a good little player. Only young lad as well, isn't he?
He is. Which was the lad who came on? Was there a young lad who absolutely demolished Lazaro when Lazaro played right back last season down there? He megged him and also took the piss out of him, and I think they ran away with the game. Was it Pepe? Was it at that time?
He's just moved, hasn't he? I'm sure.
Yeah, for a lot of money as well. He's been dreadful, to be fair. Pepe, absolutely
really
dreadful. But I remember the game Lazaro played.
Xhaka's working his ticket in the middle there, isn't he?
Who's that?
Xhaka.
He does that like he's a nuisance.
He always does. Yeah, he always does. He's a nuisance. Look at that run.
Do you know what it is, though?
Jesus.
Do you know what it is, though? It's hilarious how the Premier League have asked the players not to celebrate.
You're right, mate.
The players aren't allowed to celebrate, and look where they're in the corner now.
Absolutely spot on, yeah. Careful.
Go on, pressure on the ball.
For me, if it's not safe to celebrate, it's not safe to play. For me, like
exactly.
I feel like it's more. I could be wrong here, but I feel like it's more like a psychological message to the public. Like, the players aren't touching each other when they celebrate, so we shouldn't be close. I know it sounds daft what I'm saying, but like,
yeah,
it's because obviously the photos coming from a game, the ones like still and papers and things are going to be players celebrating on there.
Yeah, and I just feel like, whereas Madison, I thought, to be fair to him and Leicester, the way he handled that goal celebration was really funny, and it was good. It was a good laugh. Made a bit of humour out of it.
Can you remember when football first came back and it was Germany started first, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
And there was a goal scored. I think Haaland scored for Dortmund, and they just went and all stood like distant from one another, but in the corner, and that was it. That was the celebration. Was just stood like the photo was mad because they're celebrating a goal, but that just kind of like probably as distant as we are now. It's so strange.
Was another German league as well. Obviously, it was last season when I'm sure it was German league. The champions obviously got the trophy, but they were all standing 2 meters apart as well in the field, like for the photos and that.
It was Austria, I think.
Was it Austria? Was it?
I think it was Austria. Yeah, it was. Aye.
You see the shit Martin Tyler was getting yesterday. I mean, he gets a lot of it, but about his comments about the players playing, saying it's really hard for them, and we thank them so much, and I thank them personally, and it's really, really hard. And someone tweeted saying he recorded the video, and he was the voiceover, and he was it's fucking. I bet it's really hard when you're on 50, 60 grand a week, and I'm struggling to pay my mortgage or whatever it was. You know what I mean? And it was just the way Martin Tyler went on. It is. You're right. Yeah. It's always that same argument.
It's always the same pattern.
Are you right now? Right.
I don't know. People just want to fight all the time at the minute. It's horrible.
Yes, that is true. Yeah, Decker, etc.
Decker, etc. I forgot about that. So people haven't heard the news. We're actually changing the podcast name. It's no longer going to be the Always Smiling Faces podcast. It's going to be all of Decker's mates' podcast.
Go on, Mickey. Go on, Mickey.
Go on, Mickey, lad.
Go on, son. Look at Wilson. Look at Wilson. Look at this pace. Pass. Hit it. Come on.
He did well there. Just smash it.
Man. Oh.
Hard lines. You know what it is? Mickey's absolutely bursted his arse the first 20 minutes.
Yes, mate. Do you know what it is? This is why he should be starting every game. Because he brings things like that.
That's great.
He did really well there. Yeah, he did well. But he must be gassed by now.
Run there, man. If Carroll just gets lost under his feet here.
To be fair, Mickey does really well there, because I know we were asking him to give the ball to Wilson, but Wilson's getting marked by 2 players. Mickey does really well.
Wilson's doing good to make the run to try and create space for other people, which is good. But that's the thing, though, isn't it? I mean, you look at Mickey there. The chance was created by him breaking up play within his own half and then sprinting maybe 30, 40 yards. It's a big ask, isn't it? To do that all the time.
Well, that's the Miggy we'll love to see, is when he gets that ball there and just goes with it and runs and creates something, because it's that he's in here.
Handball.
Lewis did well there. Was a handball by Lewis Pesty there? Was it?
It looked like it might have been. I don't know. I mean, it might not have been, but it.
We're desperate for VAR to check something that Lewis does, don't we?
They're going to check it now, isn't they?
He's checking it, isn't he?
They're protesting. They're going to have a look now.
Fuck off. Nah, fuck off.
No, it's not much.
Can they give it for something like that?
What? I didn't
Does he even hit his hand?
Yeah, it does hit his hand
Oh, come off! It comes off his knee and back.
That's
can't do anything with that. The only thing you can do there is literally chop your arms off.
Cut his arms off. Yeah, that's all you can do. Yeah, that's insane. To even have the audacity to appeal for that as well.
Evening, Paul. Thanks for tuning in, mate.
Evening, mate.
How do, Paul?
Hi, Paul.
So, Paul, notice that you're not a member.
I think we're in the pub there, weren't it? Hi, Paul.
Paul. You're around, Paul.
You're around.
You're around, Paul. Get the nuts in, Paul.
Who are you calling round?
What you drinking tonight, Chris? What you got?
So on the way home, I swung by Tesco because I'm skint, and I went for Tesco's own cider.
All right. Okay.
Cloudy apple.
It's £2.20 for 4 cans. Can I go?
All right.
Okay. Mark, what you want, Mark?
Oh, come on. Do you need to ask?
Red Stripe.
What's the beer on?
You got Red Stripe? What are you drinking?
Bessie's on the old gold cans of Coke.
I've just had a hot chocolate there, and I've got a caffeine-free Coke,
yeah.
No hot chocolate, don't you?
I do anytime, mate, guy.
Shit.
Oh,
no worry.
Where on earth was
I'm on the Budweiser's, lads.
2 at a time.
Oh, mate, you got the shirt as well. You know what you have to do. You know what you have to do for score now.
1998, wasn't it? So yeah, I put it on the night. Reminisce of the good days.
So if Newcastle score, mate, right? If Newcastle score, you've got to do the Steve Whitehead, right? Deal.
You floor, I'm worried about.
Maybe if we
Doesn't
win.
matter, mate.
If we win,
Decker, if you do that and it ruins your floor, right? I'm sure we can get some members that donate some cash to get you a new floor.
You'll have to. Honestly, they'll have to.
Just go and get a towel. Go and get a towel, put a towel down, and then do it.
That's a good idea, Mark, actually.
So yeah, I've just mentioned there, if you're watching this and you do want to become a member of the channel, I'm not sure if you can do it on your phones. I'm not sure if we'll figure this bit out yet, because Martin had a bit of trouble. But yeah, on the homepage, on the Gallowgateshots homepage, you do click join and you can become a member. It's either $2.99 a month or $4.99 a month. Just gives us a little bit of a little, what's the word I'm looking for? Kickback sort of thing.
We'll go to bed for this word.
Yeah, just to reinvest the money into things. We all got new mics, which none of us are using tonight. But yeah, you get the gist.
I'm still looking for Philippe Albert.
Your money will help us find Philippe Albert. He's out there somewhere.
I tell you what, I am annoyed at. I've got a brand new table, and the bane is fucked it. There's scratches in it all over the place. Fuck's sake.
You tried cutting his nails?
Fuck's sake. No, it's off when she's been doing her work on the table. There's lines all over it.
Pass.
That should have been a free kick there, you know.
Oh, God.
Get outside.
And again.
Go ahead, what are you... Oh, getting it, Carroll again, man, getting in the bloody way.
Build it up again, calm down, just take a breath.
You took it off Wilson there.
No, I think he took it off Joe Linton.
Oh, was it?
And to be fair, I think if I was on the field, I'd take it off Joe Linton as well.
Nah, but it was like literally lined up ready just to take it.
I'm not sure he was.
You see that ball from Lewis there in the box to his right
foot?
Man.
Great tackle, lad. Great tackle.
On shotgun as well, get in.
Oh, he's fine now.
Let's use commentators. That was a striker's tackle. Striker's challenge.
Paul Scholes used to always get that, didn't he? When Scholes used to just rattle someone from the back. It was like, that was quite sexual. That rattle someone from the back, but you know what I mean.
Cheers, Neil.
Yeah.
What's he saying?
Thanks, Neil.
Cheers, Neil.
Better than this one. Marty Lawrence, all of those $2.99 a month and all Chris can afford is Tesco's own brand cider.
Yeah, you too can buy Chris Wallace 4 cans of Tesco's own brand cider.
Give us some strong, Bo. Give us some strong winners.
What's he saying? New lighting? I've got lighting. Yeah, I've got lighting here. Because I could put the other light on, but I just got this one on.
Put the big light on.
I was meant to say you, Chris. This one's gone off. The wires are all like minging, so. If people sign up, I need some light. You can notice I can't afford to put the big light on.
Yeah, so the next person to sign up, you'll know that you just bought Decker a new light. Right? That's
if you sign up, you'll see it go on. You'll just hit pick on.
At $2.99, it might buy him a couple of new bulbs. I don't know about a new full light fitting.
I don't know if to go on to the
I don't think he's not talking about the house. He's lighting his house, man. He's talking about his ring light. We're not buying him a new heat.
Yeah,
we're not rewiring his house.
The wires are a bit dodgy. Like I've got it sitting all right at the moment, but
I'm all. To be fair, that like half an hour, this match is passed quite quickly.
Oh, it has.
It has. We haven't done too badly in all fairness. Like,
bit of a surprise. Oh, Decker, man, did you have to?
I thought Mark was going to say it then. I was about to shout at him.
Oh, I did as well. I was waiting for it there.
Yeah, we've been okay. I mean, of course they've had chances, but we've been all okay. But again, though, we haven't tested their goalkeeper in half an hour, have we? Like, not just
Barely had a touch. A couple of crosses that have run through him.
That's right. Yeah, and you just need a bit more than that. But it hasn't been too bad, though, to be fair. Certainly better than Sheffield United, I would say that.
Aye.
It couldn't get any worse, could it?
Yeah. No, that's what we say every week, mate.
At least,
and it gets worse.
At least the reaction we were looking for is evident so far.
Digger, I've got good news for you, mate.
Okay, then that sounds good.
You're getting lights.
Mark S has bought your ring light.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mark. Thanks for signing up, mate. Appreciate it.
We'll get into that.
What I want to know is how come Decker's had 2 ring lights and I haven't even had 1?
Hang on a second. Hang on. How many times have I said, does anybody need anything? And Mark never asked for anything. Bestie asked for a new laptop last week. Well, last week, a couple of days ago, sorry. One day, Bestie. One day, mate.
Sorry, you froze when you were talking there because I didn't quite catch what you were saying.
Oh, sorry, mate. I said one day I'll get you a new light. Not a new light, a new laptop.
Cheers, mate.
There you go. New member, we've got light.
Look at that.
There you can.
He's upgraded from halogen to LED.
And I've got 2 new cans of Budweiser.
Right, so NXGN_Danzo, next Gen Raisin / Danny Felix. What a name that is, mate.
That is the longest YouTube
You've took up the full
the
screen. You see, he's been a subscriber for ages. He's now trying to become a member. He's facing the trouble which a lot of people have faced. I think Adam is probably your best person to ask on this one, so hopefully Adam is still tuned in. I think Morty had trouble as well, so if anybody is watching, give him a shout. Daryl will know. Daryl, tell him. Thanks, mate.
Morty got his grandkids to sort it out for him. Either that or he used his fire brigade pension to pay somebody to do it for him.
So Daryl said, try using the YouTube app. Yeah. So, sorry, don't use a YouTube app. Use a browser. The app's a bit of a chew on, to be fair.
Somebody's ever so slightly behind because I had just heard a whistle a second after my whistle.
I did as well. I've got the game on.
I think it's Decker because mine's on mute.
All right, must be Decker then. He must be.
That'll be the copyright notice coming through.
Aye, that'll be us going off here in a couple of minutes.
There it is again.
Come on, I'm gonna have to mute him. Just in case.
It's definitely Decker.
Where did he actually go? Let's see how long it takes him to realise.
You still gunning?
Sorry, mate. We had to mute you because you've got your volume on your telly, and we're going to get cut off.
Yeah,
because you've copyright.
Yeah. No, I just I went to get my phone there because Porter. I think Porter's watching. So Porter's texted us 3 times and said, Neville didn't say what Mark is saying here at all.
What are you lying? He clearly did say it.
Let's hear it out. Let us hear it out. He said, I'll read them out word for word. Right?
Dive.
Way.
Right, what's he said, mate?
If you're listening, Porter, I'm reading them out. Neville didn't say what Mark is saying here at all, by the way. He said the problem is Ashley.
I said that.
Not along the stream of managers. Next one. He never said Bruce was good one time at all. And the next one was Neville said in the pre-match he hasn't spoken to Bruce for 12 years.
I didn't say any of that stuff, Porter. So I've got no idea what you're talking about. Because I did actually give Neville credit for saying that the problem was the ownership. But that was after he'd gone on for about 10 minutes about saying how that it was no better under Bruce than it was Rafa.
Mark's got trolls. The trolls have gone from Twitter to YouTube.
Did I ever tell you the time when Porter got loads of shit off Danny Simpson? It was a long time ago. He'll tell you the story if you've seen him, Chris. He got absolutely...
Did he buy his girlfriend a drink one night?
Was he dressed as a lass, like?
Eh?
Was he dressed as a lass?
Allegedly.
I actually knew a lass at work called Zoe.
Allegedly.
Whose name has been changed for...
Allegedly. But bleep the name out.
Okay. I'll just shut up. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I can't go down that route actually anymore, I think.
Zoe wasn't her real name. That was just an alibi name.
Yeah.
It's an alias to protect her identity.
Yeah, we've changed it. Changed our name in our voice. Did you work in HR?
Her name was Amy.
Well played.
There you go. Daryl's defending Porter. Not Porter. Was it Cooper or Porter, did you say?
Porter.
He did say he hadn't spoken to Bruce. Yeah, and Daryl had.
Of course it was Porter. Porter's a Man U fan. Of course he's going to defend Neville.
Exactly. He's going to defend Neville, isn't he?
I'm not believing a word any Tyneside-based Man United fan says. So piss off. Get off this stream.
He's going to comment in a minute here.
Where was Porter born? Was Porter born in South Shields but chose to support Man United?
Basically, yeah.
Is Porter a Glory supporter?
Is that my phone?
Even Neil Jones getting involved. Porter supports Man United. You can't believe anything he says.
Does Neil know Porter? Does it just do us?
Nah,
Just through us.
Oh.
Ooh.
He did that awful pull it down and bounce it thing, bestie, that you love.
Dodgy keeper.
I quite like when Bestie does that to me.
I've been rubbing every day this month.
Bestie, I meant to say, you've got the green one behind you there, I noticed, Bestie.
Aye.
Looking lovely, yeah. Long sleeve as well, aye?
No, that one's short sleeve.
Is it short, is it?
Aye.
Yeah. Aye.
Just massive
Lovely.
because it's from 1993.
Yeah. You could put your thigh in the sleeve, couldn't you?
Even I couldn't have got... That one's a long sleeve. That's
lovely, that's, yeah, lovely.
the Lauren Robert shirt.
Yeah.
You can tell Darlow's rocking the lockdown look like because he's got a very heavy fringe tonight.
This one.
On his chava cut.
Mark, wasn't the last time you had a heavy
I
fringe?
About 2010? No, 2008.
I bought this one New Year's Eve 2017. And I reckon I'm the reason that he never played for her again.
Oh, mate.
Oh, Mickey.
Bestie. Lovely, though. Aye.
I think about Marino on a daily basis, you know.
Great player.
Who was he?
He was a great player, superb player. In fact, you could argue I've got the Marino and the Hugo Viana. I've got the lads.
Mm.
Oh, is Fiona on the back of that one, is he?
No, it's just Hugo. It's a long sleeved. That one's just a...
You
know what it is? I might get it.
We've got a bigger light for you. Dan O'Connell, thanks for signing up, mate. I appreciate it massively.
You can get a table lamp as well as a new light for your ceiling now.
Get a flashlight.
Thank you, mate. What did you say? A flashlight?
Oh, dear me. Bit of blue for the boys.
That's aye. the Bernard Manning of the Newcastle podcast scene.
I'm glad you didn't say that with a mini milk in your hand.
No, I've already had me phallic snack for the night.
Did you get a takeaway last night, Chris, after the walk?
I didn't, mate. No, didn't.
I didn't.
I forgot the ball there, Joe.
I came home. I cracked this open.
Mm.
So it's Captain Morgan. Look at that.
Is it
Ginger, is it? Gingerbread special.
Gingerbread special.
Made lush.
Gingerbread spice.
Unreal.
I bet it is.
Have you had it in a cup of coffee?
No.
Try it.
He just drinks it through the eyeball when it's time for work, and then when he gets home, he just takes it easy and just drinks it straight.
Eyeball ball.
Eyeball ball.
Oh, Darlow.
Oh, top DJ.
That'd be a cross between your Christmas gingerbread lattes mixed in with a bit of rum. Be nice, that.
Like a gingerbread latte. Like, I'm not a coffee person really, but it's
Show them outside.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, I'm not a coffee fan. Just I love the smell of coffee, but I hate the taste of it.
I love the smell of the coffee beans when you walk past like a coffee outlet. Not to name names, but when you get the beans in the smell lush. I don't like coffee's alright. It's not as good as tea though.
It's lovely with a bit of spirit mixed in it. You know, nice Irish coffee or amaretto coffee. Love that.
I'd rather just the amaretto, to be fair, mate.
Yeah.
So if anybody has joined in, we're about 40 minutes and 30 seconds right now.
Yeah.
I'm a second ahead.
Wait, will you pause it for a second, mate?
Just a minute. Oh, I'm 2 seconds behind now.
Joe.
Now I'm getting me toes nibbled.
What's your last name in your toes?
not off here. Actually, we've got a little something.
Oh man, look how cute he is, man. Can I have him?
She.
Can I have her? What are you keeping her?
Oh,
she's 6 weeks old, so we're with Andrea and her at the minute.
Are you keeping her?
I don't know.
Well, if you just want a nice home for her, mate, I'll take her.
Well, you'll have her, will you? But yeah, this is Doris. Hello, Doris.
I'll definitely change her name though. I'm not going to lie, mate. I'm changing her name.
Go on, Mickey.
That was our last decided that should be called Doris.
Can we change her name? If somebody becomes a member, can the next member change her name?
They can name it. So yeah, if you've got any other name suggestions, so 6-week-old pug puppy.
Who's Carol telling off there?
Carol was really going there, wasn't he?
He was upset there, like.
But yes, we've got Frank and Doris. That's the two dogs, Frank and Doris. He is jumping on the top of Carol's head like there, isn't he?
Carol literally was like, "You look at me once more, I'll take your face off." Basically, like
it's Holden that's playing there as well, isn't it? Who we were obviously linked with in the summer for a loan move.
Terrible hairline for a young man Holden, like.
Well, I can't comment.
I
First man again.
Corner back to our own half and back to the keeper.
Yeah, we had to there. There's sometimes you have to start again. I know people didn't like it, and there's gifts come out and that, but like we had to there. Like, we did have to go long there, but like sometimes you do have to just fucking start again. Like,
so Tom Hope, you get the pleasure of renaming Doris.
It's not getting called Tom.
Just Tom.
It's
Tom
a girl.
Hope.
She's a girl.
Let's call her Hope.
Hope's a girl's name, isn't it? Yep. That's a foul.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
No, he's not giving it like.
Oh, yeah, Almiron, get up, man. Don't need to roll around that many.
He'll be up now.
Right inside. Wait.
Well, did that.
Oh, lucky Joe.
Oh, he was
not there.
Two of them dive in. Craft again, narrow. Show him outside, man. Keep him on his left. Oh, deflection. Oh.
It's a great hand on that if he's...
Dear me. Done well to get back over to that there, Darlow.
Done really well if he's kept it out like I think he has, like, yeah.
I think Darlow needs Aubameyang's hairdresser because obviously he's getting his hair cut, but Darlow's not, is he?
Oh, that's maybe hit the post there, like in it.
But he doesn't know. Darlow doesn't know.
Nah,
useless prick should have left it.
His hair got in his eye. He couldn't quite tell.
So Martin Hughes is Shelby fit or is he still injured? I think Shelby's been injured since 2006, mate. Like he's always injured, Shelby.
I actually don't think he's played too badly tonight. Like, to be honest, I know that corner was poor, but he's still like you know why I like him. I still feel like he's a bit of a. I don't know, when he has the ball, I feel a bit more calmer. If I'm honest with you, like. He's not as sort of quick to give it away as the other ones. He's willing to take a touch and at least have a look.
You know about Shelby, yeah?
Yeah, Shelby, yeah. I mean, I know he hasn't got the legs, and I know he's pea-hard. I know he just...
It's literally the worst thing I've ever seen.
Sideshow Bob is horrendous.
Absolute worst.
But I don't mind Shelby like as much as some people. Do you know what I mean? I still think he plays in a poor side, always with a two in mid. Oh, good touch, Carol.
Oh,
half time.
Oh, half time. Sorry, I thought you were going foul there.
Surely there must have been.
There had to be time added on.
Surely.
4 seconds.
Like how many players were down injured and free kicks and stuff like that?
This is one of my pet hates about football. You know, it really does me head in. Especially, do you know, knocks us the most? Do you know, like when let's say that they had 3 minutes added on, but the ball's already out of play on the 90th minute.
Yeah.
Then it takes a good minute for them to like take a throw or a free kick, and they still only had 3 minutes. Like, what's been happening for the last minute?
In
Like,
fairness, when it's us playing, it doesn't normally bother us that much because I just want to get it over with. Like, I don't think it was.
I mean, it was a bit of a dire first half, but I didn't think we certainly didn't look out of place, if that makes sense. If that can be positive.
Yeah, it's a lot better than what I was expecting. It was even obviously we're in the game a lot more than what we were in the cup against Arsenal, because it was pretty backs against the wall at the time. First half, it's been alright. I don't think anyone's had a fantastic game. I'll probably say Miggy's probably been the best player in the first half for us.
That's a good shout, aye.
Lewis had a couple of dodgy minutes, but he's recovered quite well and got back into the game and seems a bit more comfortable as it went on.
The issue that I seem to have seen is it's for final ball. Where to be honest, when I've been talking, but there's a few times we've had people in the box. We've had Wilson, we've had Carroll in the box, but with final ball has been very poor. Miggy's just been almost blindly throwing it in there, not really finding anybody. Just that final bit of quality or to try and unlock the defense has been quite poor.
No, I'm happy with our first 45.
No, it hasn't been bad, has it?
It's been
couple of half chances and stuff like that. Like you say, quite similar to the cup game in the way that we've kind of approached it. We've looked. I mean, we've had chances.
We'll say okay. I think we mean okay in regards to our standard. I mean, it's not an okay game of football. It's not a great game of football, but I just mean in terms of what we're used to seeing and what we deal with on a weekly basis. Yep. That wasn't too bad.
It was definitely better than that bloody Liverpool Man United game yesterday.
Well, Porter's just messaged. He's just been on about that because that was a poor game, wasn't it, yesterday? Did you watch it? Did you watch it?
Aye.
Yeah, it's dreadful, wasn't it? Yeah.
I caught the second half for the most. Yeah, there was just nothing really to talk about. The hit was just crap, wasn't it?
Shite.
I was kind of watching that and the Disney Fox and Hound film at the same time because for the band, so I was kind of flipping between the two, and the Fox and Hound was a better watch, like.
Nice one. Right, I'll tell you what, Jordan, I've never seen anyone as obsessed about Buzz Lightyear than Jordan is at the moment. Like, he wakes up in the morning, it's just buzz, 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 wants his little doll thing and that, the figure. And we'll just watch Toy Story 1 to 4 on repeat for the last 2 weeks. That's all we do, 1 to 4, 1 to 4, 1 to 4. It's amazing because I love Toy Story.
You must have your emotions must be made of dinosaur skin now after watching that so often. Like
I still cried 4 and I've seen it at least 100 times. I still cry.
I got a donation. So I think that's Zine, is it? I'm guessing it's an Arsenal fan. Thank you very much, mate. Thanks. Blown away.
He's making the blow lesser by tipping we're a $5.
But thank you very much.
An Aubameyang hat trick.
Well, I think he's made a mistake. I think he thought he was on Paddy Power website. Thank you, mate.
Should we put the 49 on the Aubameyang hat just in case?
Imagine if that comes in.
I'm not sure you're going to get the same odds you'll get on here as you would on Paddy Power.
Oh, curiosity. Let's have a look.
What's your favourite Toy Story film, like, Bestie? What's your favourite one?
Has to be the first one, surely.
No, it is. I love all 4 of them. I really, really like the third one.
Yeah, I
agree. The bit where they use the tortilla for Mr. Potato Head. Absolutely increases. And when Buzz gets put into Spanish mode,
she shouts, "Oh, you've lost weight." It's quite funny that actually. Like,
do you know the character I love? I love Forky. How he just keeps on trying to jump in the bin, absolutely increases every single time.
I think the very end of 4 when he's kind of zooms in his eyes and one of his eyes just goes. I love that. Some of the little touches are mint.
He's I think the second one in regards to the story is the best one. Like, it's just amazing that story of the second one. Like, he's going to go to a museum and he's part of this like collection, if you like. But the third one, the ending of third, it breaks us every time, you know, when he waves and he's like driving away. And she like waves with the dog. Oh my god, it's just awful. Like, it's so awful.
You get a 40-1 for an Aubameyang hat trick, by the way.
You on Sky Bet?
365. I'm on. I use decimal. You get 41 for it. So,
to be fair, that's not as long as I would have maybe thought.
That's what she said.
That's no, Chris. However, give it a chance.
Was that what you were going to say, Bestie?
Mate, I've got to say, like, for the gloves being off, we haven't seen very much free-flowing attacking football, have we?
Well, no, I haven't, but, I mean, we definitely haven't. We haven't tested the goalkeeper, have we, in 90 minutes, but, I mean, we haven't been camped in 1.5, have we, for 45?
No.
You know what I mean?
So we've got people sending the favourite Toy Stories, and Neil Jaw is saying that original. We have also got Adam's put like something on the screen, then took it off. Original Toy Story, and let's see what else we've got.
3.
Rob says Toy Story 2, and we've had a shout for the other one. Rafa's Toy One.
I quite like that.
Looks a bit like Daryl.
He's a spitter rapper. Like.
Yeah.
The is it Sid, the neighbour from the first one?
Yeah.
He's the
bin man.
Bin man, the third one. I love stuff like that, mate.
Yeah, he's always through, isn't it?
Yeah,
there's loads of little bits of continuity throughout, like Disney films, where there's like
Easter eggs.
Easter eggs. That's it.
Easter eggs.
The camper van appears in every single Disney film.
Yeah, there's loads. Like the Pixar balls in loads of things as well, isn't it? And like, I
love stuff like that, mate. Obviously, like the Marvel films, I follow them as well. Like loads of little kind of nods and that.
So I think on it might be the first Iron Man, Tony Stark's got Captain America's shield, just like holding some equipment up.
All right. I love the original Iron Man. I sort of lost interest towards about, I think it was the third one where there was, I think on the third one he pressed a button and there was like, I don't know, 50 Iron Men came. And I was like, right, that's it. Time to zone out now because it's just not for me.
It's unrealistic now.
Zine, you absolutely, you're spoiling here. Spoiling he's donated another $4.99. Saying that, guys, we will swap Mustafi and Xhaka for Saint Maximum Shelby. At least
I don't know.
I'd have Xhaka. You're not getting Saint though. There's no chance you're getting Saint. Not for $4.99, mate. You're not getting Saint.
To be fair, Arsenal fans give Xhaka a lot of stick, don't they?
I think it changed.
Had a big falling out, didn't it?
Well, I think since Arteta came in, I think it's changed. I think the tide's changed quite a bit with Xhaka, because he came on, he got sent off that challenge, didn't he? And there was hell on about it.
I remember the game where he got substituted and he got booed off by his own fans, and then he obviously reacted to the crowd and stuff like that. Which, to be fair, I thought a bit out of order. I mean, we've seen it at St James's with a couple of players over the years where we've had that reaction to them being either booed on or even in some cases booed onto the pitch, never mind off. But I don't know.
He took his shirt off, didn't he? And he took it off before he was coming off the field, and I thought that was the end. I thought there's no way that he'll come back from that. So to be honest, I'm surprised he's still there. What's your thoughts? Hopefully, you're still watching. What's your thoughts on Ozil? Obviously, getting paid off and then going to Fenerbahce. Yeah.
Ewan's had a shout there. Let's do a kids' movie tier list.
That sounds good. Yeah.
Well, I'll have a bit of that.
So we're having this discussion.
We'd actually do a Disney one.
Well, I don't want to give it too much away because obviously the whole point of the members, the membership on these ones is to give bonus content out for a lot of people. So we do have things planned in regards to the tier list. Well, I'm saying planned. I've got them planned in my head. You lads don't know about them. But yeah, it's a similar sort of thing. There's plenty of stuff which we can do throughout the year. Of course, we've just done the Christmas songs and Christmas movies. As always, Die Hard is not a Christmas movie.
Give over.
It's such an easy bite. 100% such an easy bite.
I know, every time. We could do the top tier takeaways.
I'll never forgive the fact that you voted that Die Hard isn't a Christmas movie.
It's not a Christmas movie. We could do McDonald's, top tier McDonald's. Obviously, 20 chicken nuggets go straight at the top, thanks to Bestie. Top chicken nuggets straight at the top.
Big tasty.
Yeah, that can join it though, but chicken nuggets are going to the top,
mate. Tasty.
A McRib. Can you remember McRibs?
I wasn't a fan of McRibs.
They still get them in Spain.
I think it's more of a continental European thing, isn't it?
The best thing about McDonald's in Spain, you can get lager.
Yeah.
You can get a pint in your McDonald's.
Pints of.
Have you seen what Simon Jordan's tweeted? I don't follow him, but someone's just texted. His text said, he's tweeted to him.
Crystal Palace owner.
That's right. He tweeted to him, wow, both of these teams are bloody poor. If Andy Carroll was a horse, you would shoot him. Carl Darlow, every time he kicks the ball, it's straight to Arsenal. Good job, Aubameyang signed that new contract with emoji shit. Who knew the egg timer symbolised months per goal?
You know what's going to come in here, mate? He's going to say, I was hacked.
Nah, that's
pretty
the kind of crap that he generally messages out again. He'll be on TalkSport at 10 o'clock. You watch it. He'll be on there, so he's looking for a reaction to get people to ring in. We know what their game is like, man, how we.
Yeah, it's very on brand, that,
Yeah. But I know Aubameyang hasn't scored many goals, but he's still he's quality, isn't he? His touches and his link-up play and general play is great.
Hey, Charlie McIntyre says McRibs are back in Australia. Unbelievably jealous. I love the McRib. Like,
is Charlie McIntyre in Australia? Is he watching live from down under?
I'm guessing so, mate, because he can't really travel anywhere else in the world, unless he's read the news. I'm not really sure.
He might have family there that's like to keep him informed of the latest happenings in McDonald's. You never know.
Could just fancy a McDonald's, to be honest with you. Like, I've got a chicken salad on the bench there.
I'm not a big fan.
Grab it. I prefer Burger King, but I could definitely have a McDonald's.
McDonald's.
It's a funny one at Simon's side, Mark. There's a McDonald's and a Burger King. You may have seen it like either side of each other. Yeah. And
Burger King always empty.
It's empty all the time. I just go straight
there. Burger King is definitely a level of McDonald's.
It's better like it is.
But the queue for McDonald's was like every time I go, is like around towards like Tesco's entrance almost sometimes. Like, and then
you know what puts me off? What puts me off about Burger King? It just reminds us of spending a fortune in the fucking airport, like 20 quid for a burger in the airport.
But mind you, I can't wait to be in the airport again, but doing exactly that. 85 quid a pint. Bring it on. Give us it.
It's only a crap pint as well, but
it is shit.
Adams also said no car can fit in the drive-through through Burger King. That's why it is really tight around that Burger King in Simon's side.
Is that not just because Adam's a terrible driver?
Adam doesn't drive. He's got a car. Like, I use his car today. Adam doesn't ever drive it.
Well, it is lockdown though. You're not allowed to travel unnecessarily.
The basketball came on there, so just remind us. I've never spoke to you about your defeat, the Steelers. I've never spoke to you, mate.
Thanks, Tom.
Against the Browns as well. In the from my first snap, mate. From my first snap when it went over Big Ben's head, and him and Connor tried to chase it back and missed it, and you think, that's it. It's not going to happen.
It was very similar to. Can you remember the Super Bowl when Peyton Manning, when the Broncos had happened to him, and he threw it over his head? It just everything seems to go wrong, doesn't it? It's just strange. I think you went undefeated up until that point as well. It's just unreal.
I think it's. I mean, Roethlisberger's 39 in a few weeks, and you think like, it's getting towards that time now where you've got to look to have someone come in. I love Big Ben. Like, I mean, for all he's not always being the best bloke in the world.
Can he clock like it?
Yeah. It's about time he came good, like, isn't it?
Way.
That was a good one.
Anyway, me and Chris are going to go over to the Gallowgateshots YouTube channel to continue our talk about Newcastle United.
Sorry. Me and Bessie podcast. NFL shots, we're going to call it. NFL shots.
NFL shots.
I've actually copyrighted the word shots, so you may have trouble.
Is that why Newcastle never have any anymore?
Yes, because I've copyrighted. That's why I'm asking for memberships, just so I can donate some money to the shots.
Hey, that was a good one. I like that.
So Tom comes out with a great shout. Where is it? There it is. Saying, bring back Mark versus Decker. I want to see a fist fight. Mark versus Decker. We've had a lot of new subscribers to the channel since Mark versus Decker. It's some of my favorite videos, those two. It's basically where I would come up with some sort of contest or a competition or a quiz, just where it was Mark and Decker going head to head. And it's some of the greatest content you'll ever see. Some of my favorites. It will happen. It will come back when we can see each other face to face, because I don't want to waste the ideas on things like that. It's much better when you are around a table together. Personal highlight for me was the movie quiz. If you haven't seen it, on the YouTube, on our YouTube page, if you look on the playlist, I'm pretty sure there's a Mark versus Decker playlist. Check the movie quiz one out. Check the chili, the hot chilies. That's a good one, where Mark literally shit his pants at the end of it.
It really upsets us, this Brian Ryan one, because I was so like convinced it was that. You know what I mean? Convinced. It was terrible. But mind you, credit to Adam for what he edited into that was very, very good.
Yeah. And like, to be fair, like Mark was getting really annoyed because he was saying I was giving you all the answers. What? Like, I'm not.
It was good fun.
Yeah, it was funny. It was funny. Yeah, it was.
One of my ideas is eventually what I'm going to do is a Mark versus Decker, where I just get used a non-named map of the world, so a blank map of the world, and I give you his little pins, and you've got to put in where, if I say a country or a city, you've got to go and put it on a map to see who gets the closest.
What was that program?
Because Mark hasn't got a clue where Norwich is.
It was. I do know where Norwich is. It was. BBC
I'm really bad at geography.
It was like I can't
struggle with heaven.
Some sort of quiz, and they had to do that, and it was like whoever got the nearest. So yeah, they give you a question, and the answer was like a country or a city, and they had to like put a point on the map where they thought that place was, and like the nearest to it won. Oh, what a save!
Great save that. Was it that? Was it Richard Osman, Mark?
That was it. Yeah, that was it.
Ah, it's good that.
Yeah, Richard Osman. It was good because I had like celebrities on it, and they're kind of competing against each other.
I just can't wait for
Danzo next gen racing / Danny Felix, Felix.
We just call him Danny.
Thanks, mate. I see you figured out how to do it. Thank you very much.
Well done, man. Thank you very much.
Thanks for the technical support in the comments. Oh,
racing
getting involved now.
God save from that. God, it is.
To get down and get that good a hand on it as well. Like
that is a good save. Strong wrist.
So pleased for once.
It
goes to one of our players. You know, there's not much more the keeper can do, is it? He's just trying to save it.
No.
Look at that fringe, man.
Mark, we've had a question for you. Tom says, "Can you get to Australia quicker than Norwich?"
Absolutely. if you're flying to Australia,
yeah, Morty, good shout. Because we got a little bit carried away. He said the second half was just starting. In case you missed it.
Thanks,
yeah.
Are we all? I think we should all go away, you know, lads. When all this is done and dusted, we should go.
Where would you like to go?
I think
go to Belgium.
I could go to Norwich.
Belgium would be good.
Belgium's canny. I heard that.
I will try and find Albay.
I've got a mate that knows his way around it quite well.
We should go away and just say any member can come along. They'll have to pay for themselves, but just come along and we'll just go on the piss.
No, we'll be out.
We'll get you free trips.
I know how to work Kickstarter. We can pay for everyone. I didn't even set that up.
Oh dear me!
Oh, you bastard!
I can't wait for the days that you can actually travel and go places again.
Bessie, there's a question for you, mate. Daryl says, have you had the Katsu chicken nuggets yet?
Is that an actual thing?
I didn't know there was such a thing.
I think Adam's had some. So Adam's in the comments as always. I'm sure Adam's had some.
Like katsu as well. It's lovely.
I love a katsu curry.
You eat a cat, you man.
Mark, remember when I ate those chicken katsu curries? Pasties from Greg's. Had about 4 of them in a row.
I did, didn't
one Derby day.
Yeah, I was Derby day on it.
I got the wrapper, and I'll never be able to do this again. It was outside the Greg's at Central, wasn't it? Was it Central? Was the big market one?
No, we started off at the one, which is now Milligan's or something, like at the
at the bottom
corner at the bottom, like next to like the Sports Direct. Oh,
you bastard!
I wasn't watching.
There's the first of his hat trick.
Should have put it on.
Bugger.
He's literally just gone just powered through that wing there, hasn't he?
I wonder what that celebration's all about there.
I'm sure it's something to do with distancing, similar at Madison's, I think.
Look like Phil Brown.
Look at this. It's one ball. Look at that. Yeah, again, Kraft narrow.
Only got one back, mind you. Got one back at that point.
He's not just narrow; he's playing him on side.
Oh dear me!
Great finish,
that from Kraft, the win. Show him out, man. Get him out wide.
He showed him on his left. He hits it with his left.
It's difficult. I think Darlow goes down far too easily as well.
To be fair, Kraft's only one back there.
Yeah. There's not much Kraft can do. Darlow is very poor, to be honest with you.
Darlow might, yeah.
I don't want to knock him because he's been brilliant, but that's
I think he's expecting to hook across in front of him, isn't he, rather than going that.
Darlow does that.
As always, Mark's had a shout there. It came from Shelby's corner.
Yeah.
What from Party though? Party from out wide to there.
That's something Darlow does. He kind of.
On Joe.
I think one of the reasons he is such a good stopper is because he reads well and he kind of
Guesses, all right, man.
Pre-estimates waiting to
Pre-estimate. Go on.
But it obviously doesn't always work in his favour.
Oh, yeah, a bit of urgency there, man, Joe.
Oh,
Bugger. There you go, Simon Jordan. That's your fault. Talking about how he hadn't bloody scored. Thanks for that.
So Matthew said, just to square the stream, good stuff. This should make the weekly torture more bearable.
I don't know about
hopefully,
that,
mate. Hopefully it does.
Me and Joe Linton getting a lot of shit here off that goal. I don't know if he was running back or something, and wasn't trying or something.
Oh, mate, like he would be on the bench and he'd probably still be getting the shit. We're just gonna like we're
broke down from our attack, but
yeah, but I think we're just gonna keep playing how we're playing because, like we said at half time, there, we haven't been too bad.
That's free kick.
Yeah, it is.
Well, I think the biggest question. I mean, I suppose I'm being a bit silly here because we did draw 0-0 in the cup, if you like, over 90 minutes. But I was always expecting Arsenal to score, right? So this kind of.
Well, we all said we were going to lose 3-0, didn't we?
Yeah, like you were expecting them to score, so you just carry on. But his delivery needs to be better because his corner again was poor. He's hit the first man a couple of times tonight.
That's not bad.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's just very
score from there. We're not attacking the ball, are we?
Almost impossible, isn't it? Really?
Yeah, Carroll wasn't happy with that. Like,
you want the ball more into the box, like heading it into that gap between your defenders and your keeper, so that the attackers can run on and attack the ball and power it towards the goal.
Try and drop it about 6, 7, 8 yards out.
That's it.
Towards the back post, maybe. Yeah.
This is where it's interesting because we've normally been quite good until we've went a goal down. Like we're normally. There's a few games we've spoke where we held home for the first 20, but when them scored, we're shit. So this is quite interesting to see.
Oh, he's lucky there.
How we'll handle it.
Well, what we don't want to see is Shelby start dropping deeper and deeper to get the ball, so that he then end up playing it in front of the back four. Because that's when it then just goes to stagnant.
We'll get the same result that week, man. You know, where Carroll just kept on running our box to get the ball. That's doing enough.
Yeah.
Carroll and Wilson hasn't worked so far, which I must admit I thought Carroll would.
Wilson?
I thought both of them might cause a bit of trouble, to be honest. I know it's a bit old school, like little and large up front, but I did think it might cause them a bit of trouble. But so far, it hasn't really done anything, has it, unfortunately?
Is this the longest Carroll's been fit? For like...
Touch wood, yeah, I would have thought so.
Yeah.
Since 2011?
Quite a lot of football over the past couple of months.
Yeah.
Like, by his standards, at least, you know.
That's how I know.
Oh, give me the ball, you knob.
Yeah, Tom Hope said give Anderson a shot at this point. Looks decent last time. Not a bad shout.
I was just thinking, was he on the bench? I can't remember who was on the bench tonight.
The Sky showed at half time. There was a few of them in the circle. All the subs in the circle.
I don't think he can do. Shit. Sorry to say this, but I don't think he can do any worse than what Joe Linton's doing in terms of.
Yeah, no, you're probably right, mate.
Go on,
Miggy.
Miggy definitely looks like that's a dive. That was a dive, surely.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was.
He could not have fell like that.
There's no argument from him, like.
No, I'm in the back of the foul, like.
I think you think of the momentum of his body as well, though. He's running towards the ball and then jumped in the air. There's only
he does get the nudge, but he makes the most of it, I suppose.
Of course he does, because he's sprinting towards the ball and then jumps in the air. Your body's only going to go one way. Plus, with a bit of a push in the back, you're going to go flying.
But Miggy's definitely using the wing more to the way we, like we said in the first half, more of what we want to see from him of being a bit more adventurous. Give me back. What hit it? Oh, corner that.
Oh, you're
Bad lines.
I wonder if that's something that they've been saying with regards to me. Obviously, we said in the first half that Tierney likes to get forward, so maybe Dave said, right, that's something that's a bit of a soft centre.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I remember years ago. I went to the game as well. It was a long time ago. I was Everton away, And it was at the time when Leighton Baines was like the best things in sliced bread. He was, he was unreal. Like, and we played Ben Arthur. And I remember going down the bus thinking, please play Ben Arthur right wing, and give them something to think about. And Pardew played him left wing, and Baines just terrorised. And I was wanting to like basically say to Ben Arthur, just stay up there, let Baines think about you rather than him come forward. But we didn't have the bottle to do that, and we got absolutely butchered. But,
was that last game of the season?
No. I don't think from memory. Because was that the game where we would have finished in the Champions League? And ironically, we wouldn't have gotten there because Chelsea won it.
Yeah.
It was a midweek game. It was a nighttime game.
Well, like 2-0 down at half time, or 3-0 down.
That's right. Yes,
Kabay came on and changed it.
That's right, and he brung Barr on. I think he brung Barr on, and Barr scored a couple. I'm sure.
Yeah, I think you're right. Monday night, I think it was.
Yeah, I think it was. Yeah, because I remember actually speaking on the bus on the way down. Can you remember on a Monday night years ago when Dyer scored that absolutely amazing goal against Everton?
Aye.
What a beautiful goal, wasn't it? He just lobbed over the next person, sprinted, lobbed the keeper.
Oh, shall be there, wasn't it?
Yeah. Ooh, bugger.
I like Goodison.
It's an old-fashioned ground, which I don't know why anyone's got a problem with it, because it's still got that bit of atmosphere there, which I think is really important. I used to love Highbury, to be honest. I thought Highbury was great for that.
I never got there, Highbury. I was quite fancied it though.
I only went once, but it was. I don't know. You were close to the pitch. It was a tight ground, and I used to always say the pitch was beautiful as well. Though it was like a bowling green, you know.
It always looked quite claustrophobic, I thought, on a telly. Obviously, camera angles and stuff like that can be responsible for that, but it looked really, really tight.
Yep. Same as Upton Park.
Oh, it's good. 2-0.
Oh, shit.
Good block.
Good block.
Crafted well there, man.
Get out.
Chris Layton put it on. It was when I think it was it today or something in a certain year where we won 3-1 and Kabay scored a free kick. His second goal, he scored a lovely free kick. At Upton Park against West Ham.
West Ham, was Kabay's last kick?
That's right. Yes, that's right. And Chris mentioned that Upton Park was a great away day. Yeah. And I still think it was because of the old style ground. You know, like you were close to the pitch, you were on top of the players. Yeah. I used to always think our ground before we extended, the atmosphere back then was much better. Before we extended to 52, you know.
I think that's the way with most grounds, in it, when the old style, when you, like you say, close to the pitch, everybody's hemmed in together and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't help when you've got great big stands and then the roofs are up there. It doesn't do anything to keep the noise inside the ground.
Selhurst Park's quite tight, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is. Yeah. I mean, back in the day when we had, what was it? Did we used to get 42 or 38 or something like that? I can't quite remember, but like we had some rocking nights in there. Rocking nights, you know.
It was 36, I think.
36 was it?
And then 36, yeah.
And I mean, I understand why we extended, and of course, I'm glad we did. And we've still had fantastic atmospheres in certain games, but I just feel the atmosphere was better when it was all one height, if that makes sense.
He's really wants everybody to hit the like button.
Well, he's tried his best. I mean, he's the problem you've got, and I'm not saying this is his fault. It's just he buzzes around. He does a lot of hard work, but then his passes are often backwards because there's not really anyone anywhere. You know what I mean? So that is lovely.
Come on, Kraft, get a good cross. Good cross. That's a nice ball. That. Oh, it's good.
He's playing Miggy like he's got something to prove, though, and he looks
fired up.
Everything, yeah, he does.
It's almost like this, you know, taking the gloves off and doing it my way. He's almost given Miggy a bit of license to run and get forward. Oh, it must be. Yeah, had to be.
Shocking defending that, man.
Christ, it is, isn't it? Jesus Christ.
Was it Lascelles?
Yeah, Lascelles. Lascelles was very poor.
Diabolical, that.
Yeah.
He just walks through the middle of the team and picks it up the edge of the box.
That's poor, that.
That is poor defending. Yeah, again, Party.
They keep us like further out the pitch and half our players.
Watch Lascelles here, man.
Where's Saka come from? Is that him on the centre circle now? It is.
But look at that. There's nobody picking him up at all.
It comes from so deep on his own there. Should Longstaff come over maybe? Or?
Matty should be looking in behind him and seeing he's there.
He does look there. He looks twice there.
He looks like he makes no effort to get there.
That's very poor, by the way.
It's similar to Leicester when they just played between my lines and we didn't seem to know who was picking who up. Madison goal.
Clark doesn't come out and come to it. Longstaff doesn't go over and try and close him down. It just gives him far too much time and space, and he just walks in the back of the net.
It's too fucking easy, though, man. It's too fucking easy, man.
That's exactly what it is. Too easy, yeah.
Like,
that's a lack of effort for me. That like.
Do you know what it is though? Like all this bullshit, like gloves are off and all this, right? Is we haven't tested the keeper once, have we?
No.
The keeper hasn't been tested, and they've hit us on the counter attack twice and punished us twice.
Well, listen, you can definitely blame. You know, you can use Bruce's coach. You can blame Bruce, but I'm not being funny. Like, I mean, Matty needs to fucking work harder there. Like, I mean, Matty needs to be coming in and filling in, and you know it's a very easy and poor goal to concede. But people have obviously we've spoken about Matty and his energy and stuff. But think of the goal we conceded not so long ago. It was only a couple of weeks ago. The guy couldn't run back.
Again, they've got two in between, sitting there between our defence and our midfield again.
We always have that, and this is my biggest issue. This is the problem with Bruce, right? Bruce is a fan of zonal marking, and you see that more so ever in midfield, where they have a player in between our midfield and defence. And we, for some reason, we do not. Even when we play three at the back, we don't have a centre half that'll go and pick up that man. It happens every time.
Lads.
This is like we've got another half an hour of this.
Well, now
it's just a lot more.
Now it's undoing the good work that we've seen up until this point, isn't it? By just poor decision making.
Chris made a good point there again, though, that like we haven't tested the goalkeeper.
Go on, son.
Go on.
Give it back. Mickey's running in. Give it back. Give it back. Give it back. Give it back.
Nah, it was too hard of a ball, that Mark.
Too hard, yeah, there was 2 or 3 there, man.
It's better than having a shot.
Have a shot earlier for me, like, but that's what I would have done.
Greedy. Where's your teamwork?
Joe, man, for fuck's sake, you've just been pushed off that, you fucking idiot, man.
How? I'm not being funny, but I didn't know how he's still on. Honestly, I didn't.
He's just like a tap in the back. It's not even. He just walks over the ball.
Mate, one of my mates, John Oldie's red and white, big style. Just messages there on WhatsApp. Our ground was better before we extended too, so we've got them in as well. We should never done it. I've just named and shamed you there, John. Sorry, mate.
No, but he's right though. You know, it's just that.
The roll was kind of.
It was.
Everyone knew it, didn't they? You know.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. That tin roof on the rope around, keeping the noise in.
Did it still have the rubbish flying around the pitch back then?
I definitely did.
Have you seen more crap on a football pitch than the Stadium Light?
Let's terrible for that. Like
rubbish just swirling around the field.
But it's right on the other side, isn't it? And you've got Southwick on one side, and Southwick's like the worst place on earth. So
I'm surprised not needles flying around the pitch.
I used to work in Southwick, right? And I remember walking back to. I used to get the bus back to Shields, and normally I get the bus through the kind of the stadium, and then like the wee chief and get from there.
Do you get them at 35?
Just something the road.
35A or 35, yeah.
This one day I thought, I'll tell you what, I'll walk up the main road to Fulwell, where the is it the Green? No, that's the Grange, and get a bus from there. And I thought, because Fulwell's quite nice, so I walks up and there was a tramp walking towards us, like full on the full lot, like the barber, like the green long coat. If someone says draw a tramp, you draw this bloke, right? So they had one of those black bins on the lampposts. And he reaches in it and pulls out a McDonald's cup. I'm thinking, hey, he's done out there. Has a good swig and cans. I thought, you fussy bastard. You've got to drink out of a bin. You kind of
must have been full fat coke instead of diet.
No, it would have been better if it had been a Monopoly one, and he found like a little free burger. Yes.
But Southwick was rough. Like I remember when we got there, me made Porter.
We're lads, man.
Not our Porter, but he cans. obviously, like from South Shield's got the accent, and the trainer goes, all right, anyone who likes a pint at lunchtime, don't go to Hogan's because they'll cut your accent. And regardless whether you're a Newcastle fan or a Sunderland fan, they'll have you. So we'll just...
it's in here.
Save.
What a save.
Schmeichel-esque, that.
Great save, that. But, the floodgates are opening, like, I'll tell you that now.
They're queuing up now, aren't they?
But it's that, the constantly targeting they're left now because of how narrow Kraft is playing. He's
where is he?
Far too central.
He's
basically on the edge of the yards back.
What a save.
Honestly, like Schmeichel, exactly what Schmeichel would do that. Just come to meet the man and make himself massive.
He's been brilliant for them tonight, hasn't he, Party?
Yeah. Arsenal have got about 55 players that come on and you just forget that they play for them. They get, he's really good. I suppose that's called having a squad, isn't it?
The choice having a deep squad, isn't it? Strength and depth. Louise had an invisible ball there.
Jacob Murphy coming on for us.
I think it's I think Joe's got to go off, mate.
It's got to be for Joe, surely.
Has to be.
You'd hope so.
At this stage as well, you might as well just have a roll of the dice and take Carroll off and replace him with Anderson just to give him a bit of legs and a bit of running up front. Give them something different to think about. He didn't do too badly when he came on against them the other night, did he?
In the cup, yeah, he looked pretty decent.
Oh, hang on, I'm going to have to mute his mic again. Fucking Jesus Christ.
If he takes Miggy off here, honestly.
Do you know what it is, though, mate? I wouldn't be surprised because this is what he does.
But he's been the one player in the team that has been full of running and stuff like that. The only thing is because they're targeting that left side, whether he brings Murphy on just to have a bit more defensive security over there.
That guy's he's taking Almiron off. Degger.
Carroll. Oh,
what?
Right, Carroll.
No, I'm joking.
Oh no, he's not. He's taking Carroll.
So he must be stick Joe up front alongside Wilson.
I need to get me kicks out of something.
Well, that's the thing. Like what you're saying, we wouldn't have put it past him to do that because that's the ridiculous decisions that he makes from time to time.
The problem you've got is Shelby's dead deep again.
The ball there, man. Why is he getting the ball in his own box?
The problem you've got, I think someone mentioned Miggy there about like he is full of running, etc.
That's a foul. That's
Probably
a foul.
He's all over him.
Probably quite rightly, you're going to be a little bit more loose on that side of the field because of Miggy bombing on forward. But again, that comes down to your tactics, doesn't it? Like Miggy's not a right winger. Like he's not. And Joe Linton's not an out left winger. That's just facts, isn't it?
But at least Miggy's now gone over to the left where he likes to play better. So
is Joe Linton still up?
Yeah.
No, I'm assuming Joe will have gone up front alongside Wilson. Miggy's came left and Murphy's gone right.
Yeah, it looks that way. Joe Linton and Wilson worked pretty well for a little while, I thought, before Christmas. They
did, and they did. It was Burnley at home was the game where I thought they were very good together. Burnley at home and Palace away was the other game which they both.
Palace was one out.
Not the strongest of opposition, but they still did play well together. But I mean, Wilson's never had a kick, has he? Wilson never had a
Barely.
kick. You know what I mean?
Again, Kraft, again.
It's the same as Yedlin, mate. It's the same as Yedlin. Comes inside far too much.
I reckon they get told, I think they get told, come inside, show them down the line instead of, and we'll deal with crosses. I'm sure that's what they get told. I think you see that Yedlin done it for years with it.
Get up. Go on, Miggy, centre. Pass it before you lose it, Murphy. Not in there.
He did both.
That's the quality that he doesn't possess, Murphy.
That was a poor decision.
He's got no quality.
Longstaff and Shelby are getting caught out time and time again here. Like
they look fucked.
Yeah, they do.
Really, really tired. Like.
This is a bit more end to end. It's certainly more entertaining than we've been used to.
Do you think Saint coming back will make much of a difference? I don't know, because those times before he went out, before he was out, that he was relying too heavily on him then as well, and he just got marked out with games. So he should make a big difference, but I don't think it will. In a minute.
Well, we talked about since he signed his new contract that he hadn't really pushed on from that. He'd almost regressed a little bit, which
that was the Man U game, wasn't it?
Most of the players in the team have done, but I don't know. You would hope coming back in gives were a lift and gives were something different, but does it again just make a bit like you've just been saying there, Bestie, a bit more one-dimensional and easy to counteract it because you know what's going to happen. We're just going to get the ball to him and hope for the best.
So Eric Mortensen said there.
That's a foul. He's all at the top of him.
He says, "Where do we go from here?"
Free kick?
Are you done? He says, "Where do we go from here?"
How's that not a free kick?
I think the worrying thing now with this is that Bruce needs to go, and I'm not just blaming this result. Nobody expected a win tonight. I'm not blaming this result, but if you're going to make a change, it has to be very, very quickly. So it has to be before the next game for me. He has to go, because where's it going to go? It's going to go down. It's going to go downhill. The gloves are off, and we're on 2-0 defeat at the moment.
Gary Neville.
Well, the gloves are off.
Gary Neville.
The gloves are off and we played 4-4-2, but I do question some of the performances of the players. I mean, Lewis looks absolutely terrible. You know what I mean? Everyone's very fond to just blame Bruce constantly, and he's a wanker, and he's this and he's that. But then you blame a player, and you get wrong for blaming a player. There's a lot of players on there are certainly playing below par. Be it that's the manager. I can't answer that, but Lewis has been shocking. Joe Linton has been diabolical tonight, to be honest with you.
He's been really poor.
He really has,
fresh legs in the middle of the park.
Almost like
Ryan, we're on 73 now, just going into 73 or 2, 3, 4, and so on.
And where do we go from that? We don't know. I mean, it's. Oh, I nearly mentioned someone else there. I better not. I better not.
It's so many people have said we're sleepwalking our way to another relegation.
We're not
if we don't,
mate. We are not sleepwalking. We are fucking free falling. We're not sleepwalking.
Yeah, the points total is just giving you that extra cushion, which is fake. Does that make sense?
Ooh, who's got the kettle on?
Your bestie again.
That's not me.
Yeah, this has making a couple of there. She come running in there. She was faster than Joe Linton. I'm telling you. Should have seen her there.
She's got a kettle on the campfire. She's going to get her marshmallows and crumpets out soon.
Way.
Well, she can get a crumpet out, Mark, if that's what you want. She just turned around and went, what?
I tell you what I do like on a crumpet is them plastic cheese squares.
Oh, them proper little
one of them on a
peasant slices. Mate, they don't even taste like cheese. They just taste like rubber.
Oh, no, it's the only thing that they're good for. Putting it on a crumpet. One of them cheese squares on a crumpet.
Just get proper cheese.
Nah, it's too. I'm a big cheese fan, but
you're obviously not if you like the little shitty rubber cheese, mate.
No. That's what I'm saying. That's the only thing that it's good
yes.
on.
No. I mean, no. Yes.
On a crumpet.
No.
Gonna have a proper
or
Red Leicester. I'm a fan of Red Leicester.
Nice cheese, Red Leicester. Good cheese.
Like Red Leicester.
I haven't had a meat tea yet, man.
My favourite cheese, I love Christmas and stuff like that for this, is because you can always get it Wensleydale and Cranberry.
Lovely cheese, that.
Love that.
I love it. It's Black Bomber for me. It's not only the black. It comes in the black rind.
Yeah.
The first time I had that, my mate got us a cheese board for Christmas when I lived in Norwich. And it stings your gums. It's that strong. It's lush. Oh, man, I didn't get any this year either. I love Christmas for cheese, like.
I think it's because all the Christmas fairs and markets and stuff were all cancelled this year, wasn't it? So there was a shortage of those kind of things.
Dan O'Connell's called it placa cheese.
That's what I said. That's what it was. It's plastic square cheeses. It's horrible, but it's
cheese.
The only time it's ever good is on a crumpet.
No, not having it. Placa cheese.
I love crumpets, like.
Right.
At least it's not as bad as the Americans with cheese in a can. That's all kinds of wrong. Canned
Are you pouching on, Decker?
My last one is a blue riband.
Oh, lush.
Lovely.
But I've got my tea over there. Oh,
that's out. That's
out.
I don't think it was.
I don't think it was,
There's a third.
Here comes the hat trick.
Right. Okay, guys. Right. Now we need 5, 6 now. Let's go now. We've lost. We now need to take a hike.
And he blames it on taking the shackles off in playing attacking football.
We need it now.
That's out.
Oh, it's just
in.
It's just in.
Oh, that's like a millimetre.
Just in. Just in.
It depends if the throw's at the right spot, doesn't it? It's the old argument of having 25 frames per second, and
yeah,
it's just getting back to that cup final where we did the same thing to them.
That looked massively out, like, didn't it? But it's ridiculous when they go to this lens. If the linesman's looking at that and he thinks it's out, then surely it's got to be out.
He didn't, though, did he?
Is there enough evidence to overturn it? That's but not something NFL like.
From that angle, that looked like it was just in to me because it's got to be millimeters of the ball, and it looked like it was in.
Talking just as well, man. You're like,
but yeah, again, man, the defending.
Look at Lewis is all over the place, man.
Nobody picking him up. Craft again.
For me.
What happened to celebrating? Like not celebrating? Fuck me.
Well, they don't score many of these pricks, so it's no surprise they're hugging and
kissing. Against us, they scored 8 in 2 bloody weeks.
It's fucking Newcastle, man. We're the worst, man. We're not even a top 10 fucking championship side, man. Now we're getting excited.
Are they still trying to decide this?
Obviously, yeah.
Because they're making a substitution now.
Give it.
Will Ian's coming on.
Ah, yeah. Will Ian. Well, now we need 5 or 6 now. We need to get the pressure really.
Yeah. Welcome to the only.
It won't make a difference.
No, it doesn't matter. But welcome to the only Newcastle United podcast where we are now willing Arsenal to go on and score another 1, 2, 3 goals. No, you're right, mate. Because I'm with you. We're not gonna get anything from this game now. Go and give us a hiding, and that might just. It probably won't, but it might just. Be the final nail in the coffin. If that isn't, he's brought Hendrick on. That should be the final nail in the coffin.
Mind he's brought. We need legs in the middle, like, and you had to bring.
We did need to freshen it up in there, like, but I'm not sure Hendrick brings any additional energy to that already flagging midfield.
He's wearing gloves as well, so that goes against the party line straight away.
The gloves are on.
Do you know if this ends with a Aubameyang hat trick, lads? We've got ourselves to blame on that one. Like,
at least we got a $5 out of it. Now, 125 each. We can get ourselves a couple of Tesco's cans each.
Yeah, we need another one now in a couple of seconds. Just really take it with the town now. Of arguably the poorest Arsenal side in the last 20 years. And, you know what I mean? We're getting...
I'll tell you what, I wouldn't half mind being as bad as Arsenal were, like.
They're on good form as well, these at the minute. They've had a pretty decent run of late.
Jules is on the Vino.
Didn't they draw against... I thought they drew a 0-0 against some horror side. I thought recently they were getting criticised. No, it wasn't. I'm sure it was someone like Fulham or Palace or I don't know, someone.
Yeah, didn't they draw with Palace 0-0 after they played us?
It was very soon after us, and they were all again back on Arteta's back and all the rest of it, you know.
I'm going to say Julie's
you're right, Besty's right. The second half has been absolutely appalling. I don't think we've been in their half, honestly, at any point in the game. at any point in the game. Absolutely horse. Just terrible, man.
You know, the strange thing, we brought Kraft in tonight, but Yedlin hasn't been bad the last few games. Yeah. So he's got to think himself unfortunate to have been dropped tonight. And then you look at where all of these goals are coming from. They're all coming from that side where Kraft's been found either out of position or too far over and stuff like that. So, I mean, it's not to say that had Yedlin have been on the pitch, things might have been any different, but it's not looking great for Kraft tonight after what we've seen in the last 80 minutes. They're just going to take the mickey now, aren't they?
What are you writing? So obviously he's going to come out with an excuse, yeah. What's his excuse going to be?
I don't think there'll be an excuse. I think he'll say that he's pleased with the reaction. We'll give it a go. We'll try our best. That's what I think he'll say.
Arsenal are a top side.
Yeah.
But he said it's his way now.
Corner. That's out.
That was second time round was, I think.
That looked like it went out twice.
So Sean Sodas, I mentioned this last night on Twitter as well. Steve Bruce's reign of terror is over. Let the reign of Mark Hughes begin. You know for fine well. Mark Hughes is in for a decent shout again. This job if Steve Bruce gets sacked.
Come on, Murphy, get up the line. Joe, why are you going back? What's there, man? Why didn't you just give him up the line there?
We are favourites to be his next club, 4-1.
Yeah, God, I know. Pearson as well.
As much as I hate to say it, and like we had a chuckle at Bestie over it, but like bring Pearson in. Like there's no way he can do any worse than what Bruce has done. And
has anyone thought about Lee Clark?
Somebody has.
I nearly mentioned it earlier on, and that's when I said I can't say that. I don't want to get involved in anything like that. But yeah, Lee Clark, he did a good job.
Yeah, mate. He did so well at Alive and Motherwell and Birmingham.
You know for fine well, it's going to be Mark Hughes up, yes.
Yeah, absolutely. It's the appointments that they've made since they've taken over. They've got Keegan because they thought we'd love Keegan. We did love Keegan, in fairness.
Yeah.
Replace him with who took over and Joe Kinnear, their mate.
Yeah.
Chris Hughton because he was there and he was cheap. And then that's when we started on the train of Pardew, McLaren, Bruce. There's just no... They just don't know. It's so exasperating.
The Forest now, isn't he?
I think
with that young Amiobi brother, Sammy.
He's here to crap at the weekend. He has 2 goals at the weekend. His second goal was absolutely superb, like his second goal.
I think that's struggling for us now, isn't it?
Aye, they are. Yeah, there was a good big win for them actually at the weekend.
Serves them right.
But it's like if your owner's willing to put Kinnear in charge, you know what I mean. You set the fire to the place, and you've got the keys. You've got to
bring him back as a director of the club later on as well.
That's a book in that clumsy challenge.
I don't think he's going to book like.
It was clumsy more than he didn't mean anything by it. It was just clumsy on it. Clumsy and a bit late. Yeah,
that's not bad, man.
Yeah. Clumsy in it. Look
worse game for that, like.
Well, how can he be late on that challenge? He's literally close at the ball than the player. Like,
I think it was just the pace of Lacazette, wasn't it? Getting there made it look worse than it was. Yogan, Will.i.am.
So Aubameyang's still on the pitch. Has he gone off?
Oh well, we need this to go in. Come on.
I think he's still on that.
Oh, 80, is it 85?
Yeah.
That's a shout that from Ryan. Have we had a shot on target? I think we have, but it was really weak.
We've had a couple of crosses that have run through to Leno, but
the keeper hasn't been tested at all. The keeper hasn't made a save. He's literally just been catching balls into his chest.
He might as well not be there.
He's had 10 cigars a night. Bollocks. Think leaving fuck all.
That's a terrible free kick. That.
It's just diabolical, isn't it?
It's like I think Lagos might have gone off.
Do you mean Aubameyang?
Yes.
Is that who went off for?
He must have went off, yeah. Well, that saves egg on our face by not putting that hat-trick bet on.
It's just fucking depressing, though, isn't it? It's just depressing, isn't it?
Just same shit, different team, mate. It's like we said. Of course, first off, we played all right, but we have played all right in certain parts of previous games. The first 10, 15, 20 minutes. It's a second half which kills me, and once again, it's a different team, and we just came out as if the game's already wrapped up. We came out the second half as if we're already losing the game 3-0 in the first half.
It's the strength and depth kills were as well.
I'm not sure if it is, mate. I'm not sure if it is. Arsenal haven't made a change till later on in the game. It's not that. We're just not good enough.
I think we're not good enough.
Is Anderson
everywhere.
Joe
Linton's still getting 90 minutes, man. Jesus. Anyway, yeah, I'm not sure if we're good enough. I don't know if we're good off the field. We're not good enough. I'm not particularly sure if we're good enough on it either. Like, to be honest, there's so much has to change, doesn't it? So much needs to change. It's just so poor, isn't it? So poor.
Why are you putting it in there, man? Putting it into trouble. They're just passing the ball around with now.
You think of it realistically here. You've just been beaten off the worst team apparently in the league.
Sheffield United.
Not much was going to change in how many days has it been since that game? Like you can't. I said 3-0, or did I say 4-0 or 3? I said 3-0, didn't I? So I'm correct. Yeah. So I can hardly be annoyed, but like it is frustrating though when you see the sort of. I don't know if it's because we're fans. I believe in the players more than what they're showing. Like I think that Lascelles is better. I think Clark could be doing. Lewis could be doing better. I feel that when I watch the game, I feel they should be doing more, but it's just fucking awful.
I'll tell you what, who can't be doing better? Luis. He's absolutely terrible.
Oh, he's making
he's horrendous.
David Luiz.
He's awful.
He's keeping a clean sheet tonight.
Every single corner has been that.
I thought attacking corners for defenders don't count, do they?
Oh, yes!
Hey, that was a blast.
Proper old school, that bestie.
Fantastic, man.
No, was it not?
It was attacking headers for
it was Andy Carroll's
defensive. You said headers don't count in the opposition box, I think you said.
Aye, for a striker. It was Andy Carroll.
That was good, that.
To be fair, I think Andy Carroll's had more defensive headers tonight than he has offensive headers.
I think he's had that since
I don't think he's had either, to be fair.
I think he did the last time we played down here a couple of years ago. Yeah. He was the best defender we had. Oh, couldn't touch that, man. Yeah. See, though, like, they're just taking the piss out of it now, aren't they? Big time.
I'm at the point where I'm ready to order a takeaway now, I'm not going to lie.
I'm just going to FIFA on.
They're just better players, aren't they? They're technically better.
Yes. You know what it is, right, Mark? I'll give you that, right? I will give you that. But I say this every week. I feel like I keep repeating myself. But I look at teams. This is going to defeat the object here because I know what you're going to say. But I watch Brighton, right? And I keep saying Brighton, and I know Brighton are below. They might not be now, but they were when I last said it. I watched them against Leeds, and they absolutely fucked Leeds. They really. I know it was only 1-0, but they absolutely demolished Leeds. Every player on that field looked like they were comfortable on the ball. They were fluid. And you look at their team on its own on a team sheet. They're fucking shite. I'm being sorry. They're shite. It's just the way that you set up to play. I don't know. But
so Julia said an insult to injury. My uncles, who are Villa fans, are getting that pelt last night. It's going to get worse. We're playing Villa at the weekend, so it's going to get worse, Julie. Don't worry about that.
And obviously, they'll be licking their lips at the prospect of playing us.
Well, you think of a team that's advanced and like sort of progressed. Villa came up after us. Yeah, you know what I mean, we all laughed and joked and carried on, didn't we, over that? You know. And
well, Villa last season were awful. Absolutely
Well,
awful.
that's what I mean.
About that last season, though, mate.
Fair, they should be in the championship now, because if it wasn't for goal line technology not working, they would have been relegated.
Oh, you're right, and that's how depressing we are.
Difference this season.
You've got a team that shouldn't have stayed up because of VAR, and now all of a sudden, just night
to be honest,
and day, difference.
I still don't think VAR is working. To be honest with you.
For all the like we say, he wants to take the gloves off, play it his way.
What is Joe Linton doing there, man? For fuck's sake, he's just given them a goal kick. Honest to fucking God, and that doesn't mean now, but Jesus Lord, fucking think of what you're doing, man.
I stopped paying attention. I was just looking at the advertising that I have over the seats. There's a white one with a red band with Visit Rwanda, and I just keep on thinking it looks like a kind of red stripe, but like a really big one. Not red. Sorry, Stella.
I just spilled the red stripe on me.
Oh my God! Look at that
mark. I twisted the ring pull the wrong way. So I was looking at it, turning the ring pull the right way.
The Arsenal Foundation, the white, it looks like a kind of Stella.
It's got the two red stripe above and below it.
Aye.
That one.
The Arsenal Foundation logo.
It's to do that on as well, isn't it?
It's strong. God bless you, Mark.
But for all we're being more progressive and playing his way, we haven't looked any more of an attacking threat, have we? Really?
No, we've looked, mate.
At all. A one-shot on target.
They're playing triangles in their own box, man.
We look fucking horrendous. Let's just call it how it is. We look fucking horrendous.
And this is where we get done, is when they keep hitting more on the break, because they've got so much pace and movement, and every single one of their players wants to get forward. That was awful.
Do you know what it is? It sounds bad. Me saying this as a Newcastle United fan, but when they went 2-3-0 up, it's a shame that they haven't gone and scored more.
See, I still can't bring myself to think in that way, because I even think I get what you're saying, is that you want to get a humping so that it keeps the pressure on Bruce, but I honestly don't even think that if we'd lost this game 10-20-0 that it would have made any difference to his position, because I just think it's at this time it's just his position is safe. And I think he'll be
gone. I'm going to call it now. I think he will be gone very, very soon. But my worry now is that it probably will be Hughes until the end of the season. I can see it happening. I can see it coming a mile off.
I'd rather keep Steve Bruce than have Mark Hughes.
No, I probably wouldn't, mate. Just because you would hope that the players might have a tiny bit of a reaction, which might get you some points to stay in the Premier League. As long as it's until the end of the season, then fair enough. Because right now we're not picking another single point up on our Bruce. I'll tell you that now. It's not going to happen.
Yeah,
we're going to go on and lose every single game under this manager.
I don't know if that's the case, but I do think that Hughes is a better manager than Bruce. I mean, neither should be anywhere near the Premier League. Don't get us wrong, but Hughes is a better manager than Bruce.
There's a tweet here from Alex Hurst, and he's just said this is quite interesting. I think Bruce has had more Premier League games than Dalglish, Hullett, Souness, Roda, Allardyce, Houghton, and McLaren. And some of the names on there shocked me. Dalglish especially. I must admit, Dalglish, I didn't think that Bruce has had more games than him.
Alex has been sitting on that tweet, hasn't he? For this game to finish.
Yeah. Maybe
it's been these drafts for a while. That one, I think.
But that's quite an incredible stat. And obviously, what the bottom line, is he's being given more than a fair chance, and now it's time to move on, type of thing.
Mate, it's time to bin him, and we'll keep on going at this. So, of course, is it Bruce's fault? No, of course, it's not Bruce's fault. He took this dream job, even though he always said it wasn't his dream job. It goes right back to the top. We didn't want him at this club from day one. We'll give him a chance. We'll give him more of a chance. Even going at the start of this season, we thought, right, we'll give you a bit more of a chance. But he needs to go right now. There's no way around it. If we're going to have any sort of fight and any sort of chance of not dropping, and continuing in the Premier League for next season, for 2022. He has to go because it's going exactly the same way as what went on McLaren. It's a carbon copy, apart from we're playing shit football. Under McLaren, there was some decent performances. The difference to this is we're playing with shocking football. We're having one shot on target which the keeper literally just picked up from the deck, and we're going to end up relegated. I'll tell you now, we will. If things don't change, we'll get relegated.
At the end of McLaren, it was very much like this. At the end of Pardew, it was very much like this, where I agree, McLaren certainly early doors was playing some very good football. And I will be honest, I felt a bit sorry for him because I actually did think we played well and we were losing games. But now, under Bruce, we never look like we're really in a game at any point. You know, we almost just look like we're waiting to concede, waiting for that first goal, and then once the first goal goes in, it's another game though. Mark, I'm sure it was Mark mentioned a few stats about shots on target and goals, so that'll be another 90 minutes added on to the 700 minutes.
9 games without a win.
9 games out without a win. Probably, I think it's 700 or 800 minutes without a goal from open play. Another game we might not have had a shot at target in the first half. It's every bad stat you could imagine.
One shot.
It's not acceptable.
You're saying that, you're saying shot on target, but it wasn't really a shot on target. Well,
it's
obviously on paper it is.
I can't remember.
The keeper didn't have to move. The keeper caught it like that. Didn't have to move.
Yeah, anyone could have 4 or 5 shots on target when you just, when they literally are just nothing. But we aren't in any shape or form creating any opportunities. We're not creating any chances. We're not creating any danger. It's just shit. It's just shit.
The best way of doing it at the minute is we did it against Liverpool, we did it Arsenal in the Cup. But in the first half, where the limit of the ambition appears to be to stay in the game for as long as possible.
Yeah.
And we all said at half time that it wasn't that bad. We competed, and then we did it time and time again. We've done it where we've got so far in and gone like, that just collapsed. It was like what happened on a Pardew. When you go a couple of goals behind it, you would just expect to get pumped.
Yeah.
There's in it that is as much as I think it should go without saying that Ashley's the problem at the club. Like Ashley doesn't set a team up. Ashley doesn't set a team up, and like when you got like the likes of, well, I'm not going to say the likes of Neville because I don't know exactly what he said, but when you get commentators who say, Bruce is doing okay, and this is no different to how it was under the previous manager. How can you watch that, knowing those stats? I think I said there about shots on target in the first half, minutes without a goal scored from open play, the run of form they're on, and believe what you're saying. I just don't get it.
Yeah, but I think Chris's point is about, and what I'm trying to say, here is surely Ashley can see. I know the guy's not the cleverest in the world. Certainly business-wise, maybe he is, but surely he cannot, these stats we're talking about here, 9 games without a win, sleepwalking into relegation. He's been here before. Surely he has to see that, actually, I've been here before. This has happened before. And I'm not
twice before.
Well, twice before, exactly. I don't want to have to put my hand in my pocket and, save the club again. Sorry, save that. People will kick off here. But, put my money in my pocket to try and get one back up again. Which is, I think he did that in the Rafa, in all fairness, and he kept a few of the big boys on in Houghton. He doesn't want to be in that situation again. So now is the time where you've got to react and got to do what you've got to do. He has to go.
You're right. But it goes back to what it was like under McLaren once again. Where does he learn from his mistakes? No, probably not.
Yeah,
probably not. He'll be happy here and probably look at the league table and thinking, but we're still not in the relegation zone. His brain will start ticking, and he's also start twitching when we start dropping into the relegation zone. That's when he'll start making decisions. And when those decisions need to be made, it'll be too late. No matter what he does, no matter what he changes at this football club in regards to managerial appointments, it's going to be far too late. Hence, we're set it under McLaren. We're setting it under obviously Pardew, and we're seeing it right now under Bruce. It's too late now. Like he's waited too long now. He had to change it weeks ago.
Bessie said it often when we've spoke as well, that you don't particularly trust what their next decision would be. So yes, okay, they get rid of Bruce, and you're not, you know what I mean? You're not putting all your eggs in one basket. To think they'll make the right choice the next time, and that's a worry as well. Of course, they might sack Bruce tonight, but then they bring in Hughes, for example. You don't know, do you?
So Darryl says, "Hey, where's Charlie in all this?" He's not. Charlie, you've got to remember, this is I think we mentioned this a couple of weeks ago on the podcast. Charlie is the person that said he was going to come out and be more open to the fans. He was going to have more communication with the fans. We haven't heard a peep from him since that. What it was in the program, I think he wrote it in. We haven't heard a single thing from him. Was he managing director of this football club or whatever the hell he wants to be known as? Exactly. It's the same bullshit. He's literally his job role. I couldn't even tell you what it is, because is he making decisions? Probably not. Is anybody making a decision at this football club? Probably not. We're just, Mark said earlier, we're sleepwalking into a relegation fight, and we're already in the relegation fight right now. We've plummeted into it.
God,
we've been here for a long time. We'll pick up a few lucky results earlier in the season, and we'll manage to pencil those points in on the board. And I know I only said this 10, 15 minutes ago, but I can't see us picking up another point. I can't.
Well, you've got to look and worry at Fulham and West Brom that are now sitting 7 and 8 points behind we. Like, Fulham have got 2 games in hand on we. So if they pick up some points there, that fires them straight up. There's only Burnley and Brighton between us and in the relegation places. You think Sheffield United are probably done for, even at this stage. You know, it would take an absolute miracle for them to get out of there.
Yeah, I mean, they're probably taking up one of those relegation spots. Of course, they probably are. I don't think Sheffield United are our concern. But like you've said, there's other teams that are playing decent football now, getting results. We're going the other way, completely other way.
Well, every time I've watched Fulham or West Brom, I've been actually quietly impressed. And I don't know if that's just because of what I see from us, but I watched West Brom against Wolves, for example. 2-1 down, come back and won 3-2. You know, it is. They actually look a kind of decent little operation there. They look okay. And I think, could we have won that game 3-2? Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Yeah. This is an absolute shout.
The way they play football, they just Fulham have got, and credit to Scott Parker for this. He gets them playing football in the right way. He doesn't react. He doesn't panic to who they're playing up against, whether the results are going for them. He sticks to it. Maybe a little bit like kind of Brighton and Bournemouth did as well. Certainly Norwich last season as well. Like they played some very, very good football. They're continuing to do it again this season in the Championship. Yeah, if they keep going the way that they'll bounce straight back, because they've just stuck to their plan. They're stuck with the manager. They're stuck to the way they're playing, and it works for them. Yes, there's a step up coming into the Premier League, but you've got to. It takes time to have that, but at least. They would have, even though they were losing games and stuff like that, look at how many people last year talked about what great football Norwich played, what great football Bournemouth played and stuff like that. But so yeah, it's that gilt-edged sword between the performances versus the results, and that's why Bruce is getting credit, because he has got results earlier in this season that is putting us in this position.
Yeah, but it's 9 fucking without a win now.
Time is. People have got to look at that and say, right, okay, yes, he did do that back then, but look at what has happened in the last couple of months, and it's going the wrong way, and something big needs to change. And that either needs a massive reaction from the players and reaction on the pitch and some results, or it means a change at the top, and Bruce has to go.
So, Marty Lawrence, I want to touch on this. I'll go you, Bestie, on this one. Marty said the takeover saga is definitely affecting this club from top to bottom, and he has hit the nail on the head there. You've got fans like ourselves who are sitting there completely unknown as to what's happening behind the scenes in regards to a takeover. As far as I'm concerned, nothing's happening behind the scenes that's going to affect this football club in regards to a takeover right now. We're looking at the likes of a court case, which is the only thing, which means Mike Ashley getting money in his pocket. That's the only thing which is making the headlines for me. But he's right. It seems like Ashley is in just waiting for some sort for like Saudi Arabia to come back in after. It's going to be after this arbitration. Of course it is. Of course it's going to be after that. And Ashley's not going to make a decision that's going to cost him money until that happens.
It feels that way, yeah. I was actually just thinking that earlier on there. I think I agree with Marty completely. It's been horrible. I mean, even if you just, away from the team and the club, it's driven a real wedge between the fans, kind of in general. You go on Twitter, and there's always an argument. There's always someone calling someone this or that, or there's someone kind of having a dig about something else, and it's all as a result of the takeover and the kind of the hope against kind of what you'd call maybe realistic kind of not conservatism, but kind of like it's just. I think Marty's spot on. Nobody look at the club. I think it's right that Ashley will be thinking, well, I don't want to have to pay the severance to Steve Bruce, because that might not be mine to pay. If things go ahead, and it'll be too late. If there's a takeover, and that's a huge if for me. Like, if there is anything going on that might eventually push it through, it's not going to be this season, is it?
Not on me.
Neville started picking up there again in his post-match stuff, is picking on of that. The again, going back to the ownership thing, and that is the thing that is holding this club back and this team back, and is the thing that needs to change. So it ties in with his comments from before the match versus what Marty's been asking there.
I've had the commentary on as well, and Neville, after the game, he said, "Oh well, you shouldn't judge Steve Bruce on the back of this one match." And it's like, well, we're not.
We're not.
He also mentioned that we thought that would go down last season. He says, "I thought it would go down last season, and they didn't." And it's like, well, but it's still.
That's not an excuse. That's not like justification for how bad was this season.
It's not. But that's what he said. Basically, what I took from it was you shouldn't judge them on one game, and it's not going very well. Newcastle fans this season would have expected to be between 11th and 15th and the 15th now. Like, we're free falling, but whatever. It just feels, it's so frustrating when we're not looking at...
They're just not looking at the bigger picture, are they? They don't look at the bigger picture. They just look at it now, like what's happening this second. And I'm like, we're not judging them on this game. We aren't just looking that we're 15th, but think of the bigger picture and the project that's happening. It's a one-way street to relegation. That's what it is.
He's basically just saying you should be happy if you finish fourth bottom.
Mm-hmm.
We shouldn't be happy if we finish fourth bottom. As fans, we want more than that. Mike Ashley might be happy if we finish fourth bottom. Steve Bruce might be happy if we finish fourth bottom because he's achieved what he's set out to achieve.
Yeah.
But we certainly won't be happy having to sit through and endure that for another year. We'll want more.
But the issue you've got, if you have the attitude of finishing fourth bottom every year, for example, and with Bruce at the helm, that fourth bottom becomes third bottom very soon. Do you know what I mean? Like it's going to come. You can't just keep hanging on every year because the style of performance and the system that we're seeing and the performances that we are seeing. All right, yes. Do you know what it is? We probably will stay up this season. We probably will actually. But what confidence does that give you as a fan or a player going into the following season? It's got to be none. It's got to be none.
Something else that I've been thinking this week, and it's a really, really basic way of looking at it, and it's probably not right, but I'm going to say it anyway. Like, we've been up for 3 seasons now. This is our 4th season. So in that time, 9 teams have gone down from the Premier League. So obviously 9 have come back up. It's not exactly 9 because Fulham have come up twice and West Brom and whatnot. But even then, 6 or 7 teams have come back up. For every one of those teams that finishes above you, you failed for me. So we mentioned during the game that way Villa are above Newcastle. I don't know exactly. Leeds are above Newcastle.
Mate, the light years were like in regards to performance wise.
I mean, a year's ahead of it. But for for each team that finishes above you in the league, for me, you've failed. You've done something wrong. Someone else is doing something that you should be doing, but you're not, and that's why they are. I mean, it can be because of money, but neither Leeds or Arsenal and Villa, to my knowledge, have got are in a situation where they can just kind of launch money off players, and it's better management. The clubs run better. Clubs are run better, I beg pardon. Wolves, another one. Wolves have got the money side of things. Do
you know what is a prime example right now, Bestie, is probably looking at Southampton. Southampton should have been relegated God knows how many seasons ago. They're sitting they're in top 10 now, aren't they?
Aye, they're going great. They're a good side. They got beat off they got beat the weekend. They're off Leicester, I think it was, but they're really good. They're a good side then.
Yeah, they are. Really
They've
good.
Got a good manager. Hasselhoff's a good manager. They're good.
Yeah.
I must admit, I've said this a few times. The board did well sticking by him because they got beat. Was it 8-1 or 9-1 at home?
9-0 off Leicester.
9-0, sorry, 9-0.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of board or chairmen would have went, "Oh, he's gone."
Was that not just before they absolutely give us a hiding, or just after they give us a hiding? Was it around at the same time? Where Leicester
October last 2019.
Because even we beat Southampton down there. That was the last game before lockdown. Bruce St. Maximin scored. We beat them 2-1. I mean, we beat Southampton, and you think how them have advanced. And listen. I do agree completely with the point. I mean, the odd time there's the odd thing that happens where things just don't work, right? Like, not every time you can just progress. Like, oh, well, this season we'll finish 16th, next we'll finish 12th, next we'll finish 9th. Of course, it's not as easy as that, of course. But the one thing you would have to say about us is we just look worse every single time we play. And it just doesn't. And I have no belief in Bruce to be able to turn that round. And me and Chris spoke about it yesterday. If the day comes where we do go down and Bruce was in charge, have you got the confidence that Bruce could get us back?
Not in this, not for a moment.
And the answer is no, isn't it? That's the thing.
Absolutely
and
not.
Chris made a great point yesterday. Sorry, Chris, I'll say it and you can elaborate. Chris said yesterday was a certain person or certain people give Eddie Howe a lot of shit about, he's not the right man, blah, blah, blah. But if we got relegated under Eddie Howe, would you feel confident that he has the ability to get us promoted? And for me, I would. Best you might say no. I would be confident that we could at least be in the playoffs under Eddie Howe.
I'd be more confident with Howe than I would be with Bruce.
Yes.
I think Eddie Howe's a better manager than Steve Bruce to kind of, just to kind of. I still don't know if Eddie Howe's right. I'd rather have him than Hughes, for instance.
Yeah.
But it's kind of.
We're in a difficult pool of fish here, aren't we?
Yeah,
there isn't really many we can pick.
Bestie just said there that he doesn't know if Eddie Howe's right.
Howe had a lot of money to spend at Bournemouth.
Yeah.
A lot of money to spend.
He's not very good defensively, is he? He gets you playing some nice football and likes to play on the front.
Well, mate, if he becomes manager of this football club, he's not manager of this football club. He's head coach. He has literally no say in the players that are coming in and out of this football club.
That's true. That's true.
And I think,
obviously, but if he did come in, let's be fair, the window would be shut by the time he probably.
This is the fucking problem, mate. This is the same fucking problem we have every single time. It's too late to bring players in. What are we now in the middle of January? And we've been crying out for a centre midfield player for fucking 4 years, man. 4 years. Yeah. And we're halfway through January transfer window 2021, and we still haven't replaced fucking Modi, are we?
I think Bentaleb's still available on loan.
We'll end up bringing fucking Bentaleb in. We'll bring in some of that fucker that's going to be injured for the next half of the season in. It's going to be the same shit, probably worse than this shit, for the next X amount of months. And that's probably right. We'll probably scrape by. We'll probably just finish probably 16th or some bullshit like that. But it's going to be fucking dreadful to watch.
I'm not convinced we will. I think if we keep on playing the way we are, we're down. I'm not saying we'll definitely go down, but it's going to be
it's going to be right till the last couple of the games of the season.
At least we're not going to get Lingard in on loan. That's a plus point.
I've seen very little over the last 6 weeks, start of December maybe, to suggest that we are in any way going to kick on and start getting results. The performances, the results are basically matching what the performances have been for a year and a half.
And especially when you look at the likes of Fulham, when I watched Fulham the other day, and honestly, they played really well. Honestly, they did. They played good football. They really look like a good outfit.
Scott Parker's got them playing well.
He has. And going back to what Mark said, Scott Parker hasn't changed his mould, has he? He was getting criticised early doors.
That's right.
You can't play like this and stay in the Premier League. But he's still, fuck yeah, I'm going to play how I want to play. And this is where, when it goes about investment and lack of players, lack of quality, surely, when you look at man for man in regards to teams, you look at Fulham's team, you look at ours, surely man for man we're better than them.
I
couldn't name it. That's where the manager comes into things, because that is the difference between taking average players or poorer players and making them work well as a team, getting them work well as a unit, versus having some better players and some potential good players and making them look like absolute dog shit. And we've got the manager that can take a diamond and make it look crap.
Talking about managers who are available, we've mentioned Howe, we've mentioned Mark Hughes, Pearson. Well, Bilic.
Anybody over Bruce? Fucking anybody over Bruce. I'm at that point. Anybody apart from Lee Clark. Anybody?
Harry Redknapp?
Anybody? No. I'll take his wife. What's she called? Shirley?
Sandra,
I'll take her. I'll take Doris. Mark, get Doris in.
I mean, the problem we've got, we haven't got. I mean, God, I'm going to say this, but went down but we haven't got Rafa coming over the hill on his horse, have we? Like, last time it was. I know we went down anyway, but my God, like that whole situation was quite surreal, wasn't it? To be able to
Rafa coming over the hill in his brown blazer, this year.
Exactly, and Bessie's right that it's going to be a Hughes or a. I'm trying to think of other people that are unemployed at the moment. Bilic is a decent shout.
He's gone to China, apparently.
He's gone to China.
I didn't realise that.
Oh well.
Same as Rafa.
Right.
For me, it would be
Eddie
Howe.
Who got sacked at Borough before Warnock took over? What's he called? Stoke manager?
Gary Monk.
Was he Tony Pulis.
Pulis, there's another one.
Was Gary Monk? Was he not knocking around Borough?
Chris Berry was.
Monk's he's got a job at the minute, hasn't he? Did he not go?
Do you know what it is, though? This is how bad it is. We are literally looking at this pool of managers. Like, how bad is that, man?
Yeah, I think
right. None of them should be anywhere near the job.
Of course they shouldn't.
Well, let's be fair, right? Let's be fair here, right? If you let's say you sack Bruce now, right? Mm-hmm. And let's say I'm just thinking from my head here. Let's say Ashley's approach was, or Charlie's approach was, right? We'll go for Eddie Howe. He's the number one target, and Eddie Howe went, no, you can fuck off. I want nothing to do with you. Like,
there, haven't we?
All of a sudden, you're like, there isn't many out there, is there, that I think would take the job, and that's quite sad and horrible to admit. Like, but
you know for fine well, I'll be very, very shocked because I would like Monk to get it just because anticipation. Sorry, not Monk, definitely not Gary Monk. Fuck me.
I'll correct you quickly there.
Yeah, I know.
You know what it is? I've just gone transfer marks for available managers. Got Ernesto Valverde, Thomas Tuchel, Alcantara, Massimo Allegri, Sarri, Lucien Favre, William Daniel, Gus Hiddink. I don't think is.
Was Hiddink not like some on the Saudi countries, not Saudi, but like over Middle East?
Jesus Christ, what the fuck am I talking about?
Exactly.
Sorry, he's not coming here. Like, that's just ridiculous.
But there's managers out there. David Wagner, well, he did an awful job at Schalke, didn't he? Vieira,
we're not him, but we're not linked with Tuchel ages ago. Ages ago.
Yeah. I'm not thinking of the one who went to Villa.
What's my
that was great. That was a French lad, wasn't it? That went to Villa. Maybe it was just threat level. I think threat level have some sort of campaign to get Tuchel in the Newcastle job at one point.
You'll do that, like.
Yeah.
Do that.
No, it was a French fella that went to Borough. Not Borough, went to Villa, and he was with his trainers all the time.
He was there about a week, wasn't he?
It's going to be Hughes or Pearson. You know for fine well. End of the season, it's going to be Hughes or Pearson gets a job till the end of the season.
Silva obviously he did a decent job at Watford, and then went to Everton, and
poor Everton, like
didn't work out for him. But he
didn't do great at Watford. It was Hull where he was quite good.
Yeah, he was. I did like him at Hull actually.
I'm not. I've got a mate who, whenever his name comes up, he's like fraud.
It's Remy God. There's been a few shouts in. It was Remy God. He had an absolute shocker at Villa.
Yeah, he did.
Laudrup. There's a few people saying Laudrup.
Clarence Seedorf.
The only one that wanted the job was De Boer, wasn't it? When it was offered, he said that he wanted to come.
Giovanni Van Bronckhorst wanted it, and that's who I wanted. Van Bronckhorst.
That was De Boer.
That died off.
It was Arteta got offered the job.
Yeah,
that's right. Yeah, it is difficult, but the bottom line, I think, what we're trying to say is a change needs to happen now. It has to happen now, because if it doesn't, that little gap we've got now, which is 5 or 6 or whatever points it is, it's going to quickly go down to 4 points. It's going to quickly go down to 2 points, and then we're panic stations. You've got to get your manager in now, give him an opportunity with a little bit of a head start. Rafa didn't have any head start when we went down, right? Give the new manager an opportunity to, embed his ideas and have a bit of a head start. But whereas we might react when it's too late. When it's too late.
Yeah, that there's been a comment in this from us saying why we're talking about new managers. Well, we know for fine well Bruce won't get sacked anytime soon.
It's a good point.
He's right. Raj Palmer has said Gerrard. Gerrard's not leaving Rangers.
No,
not leaving Rangers anytime soon when he's on course to winning that league.
No chance. No.
He'll go down at that club as an absolute hero. So to leave midway through the season when they're on course to win in the league, never going to happen. Never.
Miles ahead of Celtic as well. That's only 24 points ahead of Celtic at the minute as well.
I think Celtic got 1 million games in hand. Like,
that changed though. Like that's the what Gerard, the type of reaction he's went into Rangers hasn't done. Like he expects the effort. He leads by pure example. When I watch Gerard in an interview or I watch him on the sideline, do you know what I mean? And what he's done for Rangers in regards to he's coming to a club where Celtic have won it 9 years in a row by an absolute landslide, and he's just flipped it on its head. And it would be amazing for him to be here, like.
Yeah.
But I agree, not now. He would never leave. Of course he wouldn't.
That 21 points ahead with Celtic got 3 games in hand. Rangers have conceded
3 now.
Rangers have conceded 7 goals in 24 games.
It's incredible that. That's at any level of football.
A goal every 3.5 games.
Yeah, you can slag off Scottish football, but at any level, that is incredible. That it really is. Really is.
It just goes to show there's loads of managers out there. It's just you can't.
Newcastle, the dinosaur.
Can't rely on people bringing the right man in, or else even getting rid of the one that we've got.
I'm just waiting to see his interview, if I'm honest with you, because he hasn't come on yet, has he?
I know he's taking his time here, hasn't he?
Yeah. He's taking his time, and I'm just wondering. I mean, he's never going to leave, of course. I'm not expecting him to come here and fucking leave, but
I just want to say, obviously, before we rant a little bit more, thanks to everyone that's watching. There's over 300 people at the minute watching. Thanks a lot. Don't forget, obviously, you've just seen the comment.
If you me in fairness, like so.
Oh, so you okay? So if you do just want to like the video, it means a lot to us. Obviously, it helps us massively. It's a like. It costs you absolutely nothing. Like the channel, subscribe to the channel. Even if you don't watch our videos, just subscribe so it looks like we're better than what we actually are. Do that. We'll take it. We'll take it. But yeah, thank you, and thanks for everyone who signed up tonight. There's been a lot of you. Thanks to Zane, the Arsenal fan. Through a couple of donations, but I think I'm going to start calling them tips. Let's go start calling them tips.
Did we find out what vino Jules was on?
We didn't. So Julie, you said you were pouring more wine. What wine are you drinking tonight?
My guess was Chardonnay.
I think it's Sauvignon Blanc.
Sauvignon Blanc.
We'll get Sauvignon Blanc on the touchline.
Get him in there. Get fucking Sauvignon Blanc in.
I've poured myself my first rum of the night. Like, I need it.
We're all going white. Should be on a rosy or a red.
I've got shitloads of drink out there. I don't want to stock because I've got work tomorrow.
I've got no one I kind of touch. I've got a few cans there, but I can't touch them. So.
She's on the Pinot Grigio.
Oh, Pinot Grigio.
There you are.
I'm over that.
See, that was me second guess.
Pinot. It's lovely, actually, Pinot Grigio.
I already said a Villa. What time is the game? What time?
Right, Dad. When's the game?
It's Saturday.
Saturday, 8 p.m. Yep, 8 o'clock on Saturday.
Could do it, like.
I could do it.
Lisa.
Do you want any crumpets?
Aye. Do you want some crumpets?
Get some black cheese.
Some black cheese.
I could.
If the bosses are right, I'll do it. Yeah.
I could probably do Saturday. I'd a push. As long as my kids go to bed. Then
that means that I'll be doing bedtime because he's doing it the night. I have to do a bedtime every night until Saturday, like, to get that one in.
So Neil Jaws said that Zane spent £15 on an opposition channel, but that's good, Neil. It shows that we're doing something good, mate. You get a lot of fans from different clubs that just come here just to have a little bitch. I blocked about 4 of them tonight.
Do you get Newcastle fans doing that?
Yeah, well, most of them are Sunderland fans tonight, mate. As always, sometimes I don't know how, but Sunderland fans just find themselves on this channel because they must be searching for the likes of keywords and NUFC on YouTube. So I don't know how that. I would never click on a Sunderland live stream if I'm being honest with you.
I wouldn't either. Jesus Christ! I mean, I know we're bad, right?
Yeah, I hope I enjoy it.
Imagine being a Man United fan and tuning in to watch Arsenal versus Newcastle, and then making up random rumours about what supporters are and aren't saying.
Well, to be fair, Mark, right? If we're gonna believe people's word on this one, I go back to the Christmas movies where you complained that, you described a completely different movie to National Lampoon Christmas Vacation. So I think I'm believing Porter on this one, mate. I'm never going to take your word ever again.
I'm sure you'll be able to see the highlights, and I would be very, very surprised if there wasn't comments there on the feed to back that up.
You said Lonely This Christmas was an Elvis song, and it wasn't.
What? Hang
I
on,
think
what?
it's one of those where we all just think it is.
What's not a Christmas song?
Oh, Lonely This Christmas. Mark was convinced it was an Elvis song, but Elvis never sang it. He didn't sing it.
It's one of those.
He did sing it?
No, I didn't.
Did he not?
No.
No, we all thought he did because.
Is that another one that Mud sang?
Yeah, Mud Eye.
Yeah.
Elvis didn't sing it because he's shit.
Oh, don't start talking.
You know, remember, like Bestie told us, so we
please.
googled it and we did actually find out that was right. It's one of them, a song where everybody just thinks Elvis sang it, but he didn't actually do it.
You'll be lonely this Christmas.
Like I'm actually googling it now.
I think it's just because the Mud version sounds so much like.
Oh, my dad
Elvis.
said straight away. I texted my dad saying Bestie hates Elvis, and my dad was just swearing at us back on the text message. And then I mentioned that song, and he went, "Elvis never sang that, never recorded that." My dad has every fucking startup with Elvis, and I was like, "Oh, really? I didn't know."
That's when we go back to the match. Your dad's going to be waiting for us, isn't he? Square goal, get the strawberry in that.
I've got a bone to pick with you, Bestie.
I'd be like that though, Bestie. You fucking did like Elvis.
As Bruce been on the yet?
Not yet. It's advertisement break.
I think they're doing it afterwards.
Porter's commented saying, support my mates online and you, Mark.
He's just texted saying this.
Thanks, Porter. Thanks for tuning in, even though you're a Man U fan.
Good egg,
It's
because you don't get crap like this on bloody Man United channels. That's why you
Porter,
get that.
do you know what it is, though? Like the Arsenal fans are outdoing you, mate, because Arsenal fans have donated nearly 15 quid tonight. Man U fans have donated 0. So you're repping the Man U fans tonight, mate.
Arsenal are better than Man U. Is that what you're saying, Chris?
I am.
Porter donated a win to me in Fantasy League this year, like, and I was shite, so that's worth more than money, that, like.
Fair play to him for sticking with it this long.
Bless him.
Right, is Bruce ever coming on or not?
No, we've got something that looks like Bruce on the screen at the minute.
Seal.
A big fat walrus or seal or something.
They had a little bit of a thing, but before the advert started, they had like a bit of a slow-mo thing of Bruce. I'm assuming they're going to interview him afterwards.
Yeah, it's next.
Daryl said, shall we recall adjourn? I'm not sure if we can.
I don't think we've got the option.
I don't think
it doesn't
we've got
make any
option.
difference. It won't make any difference.
No, he's not going to show you the goals.
We could get Messi, man. And Messi, under Bruce, Messi would look like Dummett. It doesn't make any difference. Doesn't make any difference.
They do look quite similar. They've both got a beard and they had the blonde hair for a bit, like, so.
The strange thing is you've got to feel sorry for Fernandez being dropped tonight because he hasn't really done anything.
I think you were saying he had picked up a knock, mate.
Yeah, I think he was a bit poorly.
He's played every game in all.
It's a shame because he's been good, and I know obviously he made the mistake at the weekend for the penalty, didn't he? But
he was unlucky there. Like Billy Sharp was all over him. I thought.
Yeah. You kind of drop Clark because Clark has been fantastic in the games that he's played as well.
Yeah, but he did a howler against Arsenal, mate. He carried the ball out and decided, I don't know what he tried to do, to be honest with you. But the problem you've got, though, is the defender's a bit like the goalkeeper. When you're under the cosh for 90 minutes of the game, do you know what I mean? You're asking a lot of them, aren't you? You know what I mean?
So Graham Douglas said, Rich Oliver's post-match Twitter video. I'll tell you what, right? Rich,
we haven't seen it yet.
Well, we haven't seen it. Rich is absolutely sound. I love the kid of bloke. He's like that bloke is fantastic, and match day is 10 times better because of the videos that Rich puts on prior to kickoff. His impressions as to what Steve Bruce is doing in the dressing room before kickoff is fucking hilarious. Absolutely hilarious. He's been on the channel before. He was on Extra Time with Emil and Jess. We're hoping to get him on again sometime in the near future because he's absolute gold. Absolute gold. He's got a heart of gold as well. I just love the kid, mate. Like, absolutely.
I saw him in a gig a couple of years ago. I don't think you noticed I was there, like, but he's one of those blokes, you know, when you see someone talk about celebrity and go, God, in real life, look like.
Yeah, go. Yes, Bruce.
He's incredible looking in real life, Rich. Like, he's a proper specimen, like.
Right.
Well, the last time we were all allowed out in public when we went to watch, was it the West Ham game? When we all went out, he met with on that night out, didn't he? In the
Did he?
Yeah, he met with. It's where we were watching the match. What's it called? For what used to be Stag or Antler or whatever it's called.
My birthday.
Yeah.
Rich was
He
it?
was in there. He was there, right?
Was he?
We were talking to him outside.
Are you sure?
I'm absolutely positive.
Maybe I was just hammered, mate.
You were.
Right, we're gonna go quiet for a little bit. I'm gonna mute Decker's mic. Hang on, because he's.
I've got subtitles on, so I can understand.
I'm trying to listen. If he's got subtitles on, I'll bother. I'll let you do the legwork. I mean, we've got to go make a cup of tea.
Right,
so he's blaming we're not having enough numbers back for the goal. Trying to get forward and score goals, and we've been punished.
Decker, bless him.
But it's not about getting the balance right at all, Steve Bruce, because you don't get the balance right when you're playing defensively, let alone when you're trying to play on the front foot. The man is absolutely deluded. He hasn't got a clue. He doesn't even know what he's talking about. He contradicts himself so much. We haven't played two strikers in 50% of the game. When have we played two strikers in 50% of our games?
What difference does it make? We played two strikers and lost to 3-0. Look at Decker's face. Watch Decker can't hear us, but just look at Decker's face now. It's absolutely furious, isn't he? Like he looks like he looks like he's watching the end of Toy Story 3 where they're going in the that's what he looks like he's watching. Look, I'm not sure if you can hear it because he's laughing now.
You can hear it coming through the headphones.
If I say something to make him laugh, they will know. Nah, he can't hear it. He can't hear it.
Elvis is shit though.
He looks like he's about to cry, doesn't he? Look at him.
Who?
That guy, you all right, mate? That guy, you all right?
He always talks about the first half. That's all he concentrates. He wants to have one good half of football.
I feel as if I need to leave my house.
2 halves.
I feel as if I need to leave my house and go and give Decker a hug.
Oh.
Unfortunately, we were caught.
Dust yourselves down.
Steve, it's your job to ensure we're not. Dust yourselves down. Dust yourselves down. We the only thing we didn't have was top team for the bingo full house.
I think it's turned them off. Oh yeah, look.
Honestly,
right. So Decker,
what goes through that man's head?
We've let you watch that, Decker. While we were watching you, I feel as if I need to come give you a hug or a kebab wrap right now. You're on mute, mate. So
sorry, I muted it because I didn't want to hear the volume.
Yeah.
You know?
Do you want to sum up what you were saying, mate?
Pretty much, I think what everyone thought he would say. So first of all, he almost with a smile. Well, actually, it wasn't almost with a smile. He was smiling when he said, "Well, you know, we pushed up high up the field and we've getting caught, and we've tried to be more aggressive. We've tried to get more players up the field, and we've been caught by 2 passes, and that's what happens. And this is why we have probably sat so deep in the past to try and not let that happen." So he's almost thrown it to us. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. This is why we're so deep. It's because we don't want to get caught in possession or caught on the break. He then mentions Sheffield United, and he says, the commentator says, or the interviewer says, do you think you were better than the Sheffield United game? And he went, well, certainly we were in the first half. He says the first half against Sheffield United was unacceptable, was poor. And he says, but having said that, we're down to 10 men, and it was a dubious penalty, and that's why we lost the game. There's been a lot written about it. There's been excuses. There's been a lot written about it, but we were beaten with 10 men in a very dubious penalty. That's when I think I was shaking my head probably the most when you watched this.
Fucking dubious penalty. Fucking shut your face, man, you fat prick.
But it was very much the sort of, which a lot of people have said in the past, you know, like if Bruce decides to go for it and we'll get hammered, he'll then come out and say, well, that's why I don't go for it, because we'll get torn apart. Do you know what I mean? Like almost a reverse psychology sort of opinion.
But it's his job to ensure that does happen.
Yeah.
That's what I don't understand. It's his job to, right, if you saying forwards, midfield, I want you to get forward and attack and create more, then he needs to make sure that the defence are absolutely switched on, and that when we are getting kit on the counter-attack, that we've got enough in midfield that they'll actually have the energy levels and the ability to get back and support out. That isn't happening, and that comes from him.
Do you know what it is though? Like, I just want to put this comment on the screen because he just literally, it's a really weird analogy, but he hits the nail on the head. So the tune says, Steve Bruce's logic. Well, I drove to the shop today and it was a nice drive, but on the way back I crashed the car and rolled it 3 times. But at least the drive to the shop was nice.
Yeah, well, this is what I was about to say there when Mark was talking. He's very, very he's very positive about a certain half of the football. So we were very good for 20 minutes, or we were brilliant for the first half. It's over 90 minutes, and it's the same conversation, the same interview I see after 18 months is, we'll give the ball away cheaply, we didn't defend great, sloppy goal, but we're really good in the first half. And it's always like that. It's always, we were okay for this period of the game, but it's as if the second period didn't matter, doesn't concern him.
Do you know what it is, though? Like, obviously, we've all got in that Arsenal game.
In that interview there.
Well, we've got in this Arsenal game probably knowing that we're going to be on the end of defeat, no matter how many gloves were taken off your hands.
Well, we all said 3-0, didn't we?
We did. But the most frustrating thing is that we went up into the Sheffield game more defensive than what we did against Arsenal. That's the most frustrating thing. And obviously Gary Neville and Decker said there, he said that you can't judge and you can't, like, obviously kick off about Bruce about this game. I might be Bestie or Decker's one of his. We're not kicking off about this game. We're kicking off about this season as a whole. We're kicking off about last season. We're kicking off for 18 months. But now the pundits and the media and the journalists and the fucking radio stations and the channels are now realizing what we've been sat watching week in, week out. It's not good enough. Just a handful of weeks ago, they're saying, oh, Newcastle are only 5 points off European spots. We're 7 points off relegation now.
Yeah. It's all about the bigger picture. It's all about the bigger picture, whereas people look at the statistic that's in front of them, the league table, they look at it and they believe in that while he's doing a very good job.
It seems like Bruce, I'm not sure if you said this, Decker, but I'll come straight back to you, mate. Bruce seems like he's claiming that St. Maximum is the reason why we're shit, by not having St. Maximum. You can't pin all that on one player, Bruce. You cannot put all the pressure on one player.
It's a good point, because he did say that as well. Sorry, I missed that. He did say there that, arguably we've had our best players being missing, and he'll be coming back in a few weeks. So we hope, can I say hope. Right? Hope. He says it. We hope that Sin can bring with that. But again, it's don't get us wrong. Of course, any player is going to miss someone of that quality. I'm not saying we're not, but certainly not to the standard we're seeing at the moment.
And we mentioned this earlier, Decker. Well, we mentioned this earlier, and it's probably just the point that you were going to make, though. Saint wasn't making that much of a difference a handful of games before he got disappeared from COVID. So you can't pin all your hopes on that one, Bestie, can you?
Nah, not at all. It's what infuriates me, Bruce, kind of from what I've picked up from what he said in the interview there, kind of suggesting that the fact that we were trying to take the game to Arsenal is the reason that we got picked off at the back. It's similar to what he did against Leicester when we got absolutely pumped there last season. And he said, "Oh well, yeah, it's because we try to change things. We try to take the game from them." It's almost like he's trying to get beat, just so we can go back to playing 5 at the back, and just it's shite. He's rubbish, mate. He's crap. He's not good enough. It's totally out of his depth. Like, how can you? It's his responsibility. I think was Mark kind of alluded to earlier. If you're setting up to try and attack a team, it's your responsibility to make sure that if you lose the ball, you've got coverage there. Like, you're not just getting picked off willy-nilly. Like 3 times in the second half, Arsenal just cut through. Wait, 3 times they scored, probably a dozen times they picked through them as if like they weren't there. You look at, I think after 55 minutes an hour, we said Longstaff and Shelby both looked totally leggy and just completely out of the game. And that, I said it earlier, actually is the big problem. Obviously, everyone knows that. That should go without saying. But people seem to think that if you're criticising Bruce, you're deflecting blame away from where it should be, which I think is nonsense. But Steve Bruce sets the team up. Steve Bruce was allowed to kind of pick some of the players that came in the summer, and he's not using them properly. It's not working well. It's and there are. I would trust. For all, I don't think Howe is the answer. I don't think there is an answer, but I don't think Howe is a wonderful manager. He gets more out of that team than Steve Bruce does every game.
I think that they're picking the players and getting the best out of them. We played Andy Carroll up front from the majority of that game, who historically is the centre forward who loves balls crossed into the box, attacks them and heads them. We didn't play any wingers. We then brought a winger onto the pitch in Jacob Murphy and took Andy Carroll off.
Yeah.
So
he played two wingers who.
But they're not wingers, are they? They're not wingers that are going to get down and put.
Of course, you're right.
Is what I'm saying.
Sorry, what I meant was as well as also the dominant foot is coming inside. You know, Joe Linton's left in Almiron's right, so they're never going to cross the ball because they can't. Basically, they've only got one leg, so it's quite insane, really, right? But yeah, it just beggars belief, doesn't it? Really, I think it just beggars belief. But what annoyed us on that interview was the sense of like that feeling of, well, we've tried to score a goal and we need to score a goal, so we're playing up. We're hopefully going to score a goal, and we've been caught because I've went for it. It's that.
It's excuse. It's a ready-made excuse.
It's like, well, this is why we'll play football. He said it. He actually said it was. This is the reason why we'll play so defensively and have men behind the ball is because we'll get caught. And you're
we'll play that way because he hasn't got a fucking clue what he's doing.
Yeah,
because he's shite.
What he doesn't say is that I've got enough skill as a manager to be able to coach my players to be able to hold a strong defensive line, which then allows our midfield and our attackers to get forward without being too worried about what's going to happen behind them, because the defense have got enough switched onness and enough drilling to be able to handle what's then coming at them. So that allows our midfield and strikers to get forward and create stuff.
This is my biggest issue, right? This is my biggest worry. Sorry, not issue is the wrong word, but you think of how long they've been drilled under Bruce for however long it's been, right? And that's why from Sheffield United to that game, I wasn't expecting any real difference, because how can you? You know what I mean? Yeah. Me worry is just how low the players must be of confidence. You know, they really must be shot to pieces. And when a new manager comes in, and this is why it has to happen earlier the better, I do believe it will take a while, you know, for them to like get them to be better, if that makes sense. Like to work on the shape, work on whatever it is. I know. Sometimes I'm sure Bessie's mentioned before that is it a dead cat bounce? Is that phrase that they say?
Yeah.
You know, you might get manager coming in, don't you?
Yeah, but it's going to be tough though for any manager coming in to be able to change the mold what it's been like for the last 2 years or however long, because these lads must be shot to pieces confidence wise.
But you expect them to have changed that mold within the last 18 months.
Well, of course, I agree.
We've gone backwards.
The thing is, again, they're saying, you can't attack Arsenal. This isn't the Arsenal with Robert Perez and Thierry Henry and Ljungberg. And
me, I think the 10th half of those 3 points tonight.
This average Arsenal team.
They're all right, but they're in good form and they're turning the season around a bit. But this isn't. It's not a vintage Arsenal side. They're not going to be building statues of El Neni or Granit Xhaka. You know what I mean? They're not going to be naming lobbies after them. So to say that.
Basically, I'm going to stop you in the tracks because I think this question relates to like what you're saying now. And I'll be really impressed if you can answer this one, mate. So yeah, this person says, "Can anyone explain how I managed to start studying at the European Coaching Academy?"
I've got no idea. I would encourage it. Good, best of luck, but I don't know.
I've brought a stummy on that one, haven't I, mate?
Try and get Steve Bruce up place there as well, if possible. Like.
Right, so I'll stay with you, Bestie. Nigel Pearson. Discuss it because obviously he is one of the top candidates on this one.
He's what now it is. Nigel Pearson's such a strange one because he does tend to get results when he manages.
He done well at Leicester, didn't he?
He did well at Leicester. I'm sure he's been caretaker
last season when he went into there.
He's been caretaker here before as well, isn't he? I'm sure he's been caretaker.
He was under. Yeah, but who was he under? He was assistant for one of the managers, and then he took over about 3 games, I think.
Was it? No, it wasn't Houghton, was it?
Was it Dalglish? No.
No, it wasn't that long ago. It was under Ashley, I'm sure.
Was it not Rhoda?
Dagger, do you know?
What was the question, sorry?
When was Pearson assistant manager for us?
No, Houghton.
Houghton.
Yeah.
Pearson, he tends to get results, but he almost feels like it's kind of like he's tainted by being Nigel Pearson. It's
not an inspirational appointment, is it?
It's not. If you get Pearson in, then you're admitting that you need Nigel Pearson.
There's a few shouts saying it was Allardyce. Like, was it Allardyce or was it Rhoda?
It might have been Allardyce. Although, it could have been.
There's a few people saying wasn't not when Kinnear was ill. Was that not when Houghton took over?
I think that was
2007 and 2008.
So that would be Rhoda Allardyce, yeah.
There you go. So it's the how it says lost 6-0 at Man U when he was caretaker after Allardyce. Oh. So it must have been straight after Allardyce.
Yeah. So he hasn't got a great record so far for Wigan.
That's what's funny, isn't it? When you think about football and you think how annoyed you get. I remember when we got beat with Bobby Robson in charge, Man United. Was it 6-0, 7-0?
6-2.
Sorry, yeah. And it's like
John O'Shea was unreal that day.
Jesus Christ, we got hammered, didn't we? Scholes was just pinging it from everywhere.
Do you know what it is? Sorry to interrupt you, lads, but I'm gonna do this live on this YouTube recording now. Daryl, you are probably the most clued up person I know about Newcastle United. You know the most fucking random facts ever that you knew that Pearson was Sam Allardyce's assistant. You said it about 5 comments before anyone else even got close. So I tell you what, mate, tonight, after I click end broadcast on this one, you're getting invited into the Gallowgateshots WhatsApp group.
Get in,
Daryl, you're coming in the WhatsApp group.
Neil JR's going to be fuming at that.
Daryl, you are officially, as of right now, as of 22:42 on January the 18th, 2021.
I feel sorry for Neil JR's cat because he's just lamped it across the city.
Well, you're a member of the Gallowgateshots team, okay? As of right now, mate. Welcome along.
I've got to say, getting an invite in the Gallowgateshots WhatsApp group isn't necessarily the golden ticket you might think, but
just a minute. Sky Sports breaking news: Daryl Mitchell-Hill has a semi.
I'll unmute the group now if Daryl's in. I'll unmute the group. I'm back, boys. I'm back.
So what's
Neil JR?
He's got an iPhone as well. You doing what?
So was Houghton's number 2 Colin Calderwood then?
Yes, I think it might have been actually. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, I think it might have been.
That rings a bell. Yeah.
Yeah, that rings a bell. Yeah.
I'll tell you what, Daryl, you're gonna get a notification on your phone right now, right? I'm gonna invite you in right now, mate. Right.
And does that.
Daryl, you deserve it. You've been here for God knows how many years now.
As has Neil, though. To be fair,
as has Neil. Yeah. Neil, if you can tell me some random assistant manager in the next few weeks when I ask a question live on a stream, you'll get invited too. Okay, as long as you don't find a picture of the 4 of us in tournament, the girls, or put into those 4 lads. But yeah, let's have a look. So, Daryl incoming.
Just before you add him, can you go back and read all of the messages that were posted about him slagging him off?
Well, Daryl only sees the chat as of now.
That's all right then. Yeah, we don't want him to see what's gone on before.
Right. So live on the stream, Daryl.
I'm waiting. Mate. I'm going to watch it, ready for him coming in.
That's you there, mate. Yeah. You added.
There he is. Mate. I can confirm.
We all sit looking at my phones, mate.
Daryl Mitchell-Hill.
So thank you, Daryl.
Come on, Daryl.
Thanks for sticking by with. Thanks for giving us a heads up, mate. You work here for every single stream.
And he's in. There he is.
Is he?
That's the smiley from Daryl.
So yeah, this is what happens when you become a member and you provide us with enough. What's the word I'm looking for? Daryl is very clued up. I know I said it earlier on, but he is very, very clued up with Newcastle United. Obviously, we all thought it was Houghton. Daryl straight in there, kicking off at people because it was Allardyce and not Houghton. He's literally kicking off in the comments that people are getting it wrong. So, Daryl, you deserve it, mate. Neil, you're next. Give us something in your next, Neil.
I think I was basically Neil, do better.
That's what happens when you live in Norwich.
I've just looked up at the telly there, and they've got Barcelona attacks, Messi, Neymar, and Suarez, and I'm thinking, aren't they meant to be reviewing the Newcastle game here?
Twitter questions. Twitter questions now, mate.
It's Twitter questions, isn't it? Oh, yeah. I was expecting to say like Wilson, Joelinton, and Carroll, like statistics against Messi, Neymar, and Suarez.
Ewan said, does a group initiation involve sucking a mini milk?
Funny you should say that, Ewan. There is actually an initiation to get in.
There is initiation, but we're not going to discuss it live on YouTube, Mark. So don't take that any further. Don't take that any further, mate. So let's have a look. So there's been a few questions sent in. If any of you lads need to drop out, I know it is getting late. So if any of you need to drop out, I won't get offended, right?
Okay, bye. All the best.
Yeah, bye.
Apart from you, Decker, because it's Decker, etc.
Sorry, yes. Yeah, I've got to stay. Sorry, apologise.
Decker, etc. podcast. Let's have a look. What's that one say? Sean Saunders, Steve Bruce is manager of Newcastle United. Bastion of knowledge, I am. Where's my invite, Shane?
That's it. You've done it, mate. Well
Shane,
done.
You've got to do extra time first. So if you do want to become a part of the channel, Extra Time Tob is looking for guests. So if you do want to be a guest of Extra Time, make sure that your Wi-Fi works. Actually, I might kick Daryl out of the group now because his Wi-Fi doesn't work.
Exactly.
Sort
that out.
So yeah.
Once Neil ups his game, you might get an invite on Extra Time, and if he suitably impresses there, then he might get a promotion.
So Ewan's also said that Osman Faiz has been more active in the transfer market than the club. We'll have so what I do want to mention, and I think all of us, I'll wait till Decker gets back because I think Decker might have something to say on this one.
Nah, he want to watch it.
What's he got?
He's got his tea. He's actually got his tea.
Chicken salad.
Decker, put your headset on, man.
Look at that bald spot on the top of his head.
So Decker, before you start eating your tea, mate, something which we're about to talk about, I waited for you to join, so don't put any food in your mouth yet.
Okay, right, okay.
Is that obviously somebody said that we'd be more active than the club in the transfer window in January. Obviously, Daryl's had his invite to the WhatsApp group, and Laura has joined the channel alongside Jess as co-host to Extra Time.
Yeah, that's right.
And Decker doesn't know that yet because he hasn't read the messages.
He does. So me and Decker discussed this quite a bit last night, and I just want to publicly say now that I'm over the moon to the feedback which Extra Time has had over the last 7 days. Jess, and I'm pretty sure she won't mind us saying this, Jess was very nervous about hosting Extra Time. I know Kristen was alongside her to help her along the way, but Jess absolutely nailed it earlier in the week, and absolutely. I'm proud. I feel like a proud parent here with Jess because she's always been pretty nervous about the recordings, and like I said, she absolutely nailed it.
She was meant on this week's show. Absolutely, yes, she was very, very nervous at the start, but then once she kind of got into it, she just blossomed from there, and she was brilliant. And it was a very, very good show this week. It was nice to see His Highness.
Oh, the Reverend.
The Reverend was on.
We haven't seen him for a while, so nice to see Alex on there. But yeah, good guests and good chat. But yeah, Jess absolutely smashed it out the park.
And I think obviously we had Laura alongside her. Laura, a Newcastle United fan who I have followed for a little while now on Twitter. And she comes across really well on Twitter. She knows what she's talking about when it comes to the club and the activities on and off the field. So it was an absolute no-brainer after her first episode on the podcast to see if she wanted to host alongside Jess. So going forward from this week onward, it will be Jess and Laura hosting Extra Time. We're always looking for guests. We've got this week sorted. So if anybody watching, anybody subscribing to the channel, if you do want to be a part and be a guest on Extra Time, then by all means give one of us a shout and we'll point you in the right direction.
Neil's preparing his script as we speak.
Neil Joe, if you want to be a guest, give us a shout. We'll get you involved, mate. You deserve it as well. Give us a shout if you really want to be on. Give us a shout. So yeah, I just like I said, I think it needed to be said with Jess because the views this week, nearly 2,000 views. It is absolutely fantastic. It's
had 1,500 within 48 hours, didn't it?
Yeah, it was amazing. Absolutely amazing.
Yeah, well done.
Yeah,
still not a Decker show, though, is it?
Thank you, Daniel.
Decker, etc.
That was nonsense. That was nonsense.
you think Dan gets called Dan the Man?
Almost certainly.
Absolutely. If he doesn't, that's an absolute travesty.
Much in the same way as I went through school getting called worsty by the teachers. I'm sure Dan had me.
Bestie, that's one of my favourite stories that you used to get called worsty. Was it not simply the worst the teacher used to say as well?
The worst.
I just called simply.
Simply.
That was Mr. Stevenson. He comes to Mr. Stevenson. Simply. I saw him. It was Mr. Stevenson. That was who taught chemistry at Mortimer in the 90s when I was there. I saw him in the Alum House years later. Me and my mate Ian having a couple of beers, and I said, "Oh, you lazy twat!" And I thought, I know who it is, and I know who he's talking about.
Was it John George Helvey?
How old are you, Bestie? Oh, you might not want to say on here, but
I'm 38.
Oh, 38, yeah. So, yeah. So, do you know Mr. Hamilton? Remember Mr. Hamilton?
Actually going on about teachers.
Yeah, they're off. So
sorry.
They're off. They're forgetting where they are again. They absolutely forgot where they are.
That was my form teacher, was Hamilton.
Mine was Mr. Fowl.
You see that screen in front of you? In front of you? That's actually a camera, and you're going out live at this moment.
Decker, if you look above my head, do you see where it's got like a little eye and it says like a number next to it?
Oh yeah, nearly 3 hours.
That's how many people. That's how many people are watching you talk about your old form teacher. Whilst eating whatever you're eating.
Chicken salad. He doesn't even know how to use the mute button. Look either.
Was Mrs. Hamilton still there when you were there, Decker?
She was, yes, mate. Yeah, she was.
Oh my god.
Was Mr. Pringle there?
Mr. Pringle was, yes. Yeah.
Ian McCoist married his sister.
Really?
I was at Newcastle played.
This is the quality content that your £3 a month gets.
Bestie, did you not have an affair or something?
He did. McCoist did. He's a bad man. But
allegedly.
I was at the Newcastle played Rangers at Ibrox in '93. Ian McCoist's testimonial, and I talked to him about this years later, Mr. Pringle, and you're saying, I got like loads of memorabilia off Coisty for the game, because I'm assuming he was still with his wife at the time, and it was just a nice little
Mr. Fowler, I remember, prodded me in the chest down the hall because I did something wrong, and he goes in the corner and he braided in the corner, right in the corner next to. Mr. Fowler was a little tash little guy, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Right.
He goes in the corner.
I'm stopping.
I swear to God, 2 seconds. I remember I got home and I took my shirt off and I had fingerprints in my chest. How much he was whacking us.
Mr. Fowler, I think teachers have got a really hard job, especially the way things have been this last year. But Mr. Fowler was a fucking prick.
I thought he was going to say they had a really, really hard finger.
Right.
He did.
As I'm stopping.
We used to call him Hitler because he had the tash as well.
Shut your mouth, right? I'm stopping. Right? But at the point now where we're talking, Bessie, you haven't even had a fucking drink and you're talking about form teachers, man. And
me and Decker need to do more of my comprehensive school in the 90s.
That's a good
if you want to start like some sort of school podcast, by all means, go and do it somewhere else. Go and do it somewhere else.
One of my high golden years podcast. Why doesn't he press the mute? Why doesn't he just press mute? Why does he take his headset off the tube? I'm going to give you a little tip.
You can't.
There's a button on the screen.
Oh, I know, but
you can just press mute, or on your headset.
You're taking your headset off to chew.
I know, because I don't want to disturb you when I'm chewing. You know,
so press mute.
Right, I'm going to call it a night. Thanks,
Monday.
Thanks everybody for watching. It's a Monday night. This has been a little bit different to your normal Monday night.
You know, I forgot we got beat 3-0 there for 5 minutes.
We did. We got beat 3-0.
It's now the 50 coming out.
Cyclops is back. Well, I hope that we'll give you some enjoyment from that absolutely shit show. We'll try our hardest, as always.
Or is it a 50p piece?
Will you shut your fucking mouth and just let us talk?
One of those.
It's a safety plug.
Yeah.
Stop Alfie sticking his fingers in the plugs.
Not me.
Fucking that's my thing, and you're plugging a minute, you fucking arsehole.
Sounds nice. Make sure you wet it first.
Sorry, Chris.
Right. We'll call it a night, and we'll call it there. We'll let Decker go and finish his tea. We'll let Bestie stick another plug in his eye.
Just go like this.
Shut the fuck up, man! Fuck me! You shut up, you fucking idiot.
I can't see you. I'm on mute. Just a minute. I'm on mute.
I'm gonna fucking.
I'm fucking quiet and you prick.
Right.
He's gone.
Thanks everybody for watching. Thanks as always for subscribing to the Gallowgateshots YouTube channel. I'm sitting here seeing these two lads. I can see Mark trying his hardest to get back into the stream. Thanks very much. I had to send Mark off because he was chatting shit and talking over the top of us.
That needs to happen more often, Chris.
We appreciate it massively. Everything that you do for us, and joining us in moments like that absolutely shit show. As I was saying before, Mark interrupting us. We hope that we've brought you some entertainment to that. It wasn't a great showing by the team as always. But yeah, thanks very much. Thanks for subscribing. Mark, do you want to end it with anything?
Fuck yous all.
What was he called, Chris? Was it Justin?
Say that.
Fuck you, Justin.
No, it wasn't called Justin. What was he called?
What was he called?
Oh, what was he called?
Who's this?
I'm going to have to end it on that.
Wasn't it Justin, wasn't it?
I don't think it was Justin.
That guy that said we're all wankers or something. Remember, Bestie? Were you watching that one? He says, oh, Newcastle fans are all wankers or something.
Fuck you. What was he called? Somebody will know. Somebody that's watching will know exactly what that kid was called. No one get Mark. Adam's keep Adam Mark on the stream.
He might know the answer, though, Chris. He might know the answer.
If he doesn't, he's getting booted out completely.
I'll put him straight out if he doesn't know.
Right. Mark, you can stay in. Do you know that kid that sent a comment in the day? It's all right. I know anyway. Fuck you, Joe. See you later.
Joe.